What's up, everybody? We are reacting to the Clemson spring game. Hit that like button, hit that sub button, hit that bell, select all, leave a comment down below if you feel like doing so. And don't forget to check out uh, the Facebook group page. Keep pounding in all caps for in-game post-poll opinions and reactions to NFL news. Sorry, I'm trying to keep the phone upright on my phone pedestal here. Keeps falling off. But that's the only way I can watch it, though, is through the app.
Oh man, they don't come no better. Listen, everybody talk. It's easy to see it. He's relentless in everything he does. Attacks it. Weight room, academics, nutrition,
Okay,
practice habits,
good guard
meeting
pull.
room.
Good guard
First
pull to
play
the
of the
right.
game to the last play of the game. He's one of the most relentless competitors I've ever been around. Super committed. But you know what? This kid made a 4.0 every semester of his entire tenure. He's just about the right things. He's going to be a great pro. You know, if he didn't have his degree, I don't have any doubt he would have been back. But he's a graduate. He knew he'd go run 4.3 something and show off. God's gifted him. He's going to be a great pro. He can do a lot of things. He just brings so much to the game. I mean, and he's just scraping the surface. I really believe he's just now coming into the best version of himself. And his ability to catch passes, screens, be a returner, break tackles, make guys miss. I mean, he really can do all of those things. And I think he's a guy that 5 years from now, he'll still be improving because that's how he's wired. And really proud of him. I always say, if your commitment's greater than your talent, and you got a lot of talent, man, you're going to be a superstar. And that's what he's always been. And, those type of guys don't change in any level of football. And I'm excited to see him continue on. And
Talking about Will
the
Shipley.
best part about him is he's a great young man from a great family with a bright future.
That's pretty cool stuff right there. To hear from Dabo Sweeney, a 48-yard field
Yeah,
attempt
definitely.
right now, and
Love hearing that.
holder is Clay Sweeney.
How about
Field goal
going
attempt.
freaking Hoosier? Let's go, baby.
48 yards.
How about
Made it.
this young high school kid?
Oh, wow, 48 yards.
Very nice.
Will, thank you so much for joining us
Very nice.
in the draft.
I'm not worried about the special teams.
5 years, when coach says you're even bigger.
The special teams looks good.
No doubt. I can't tell you how much I appreciate y'all letting me hop on here and just talk a little bit with y'all. So I appreciate you guys.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Will Shipley joining us.
Yeah, man, Will Shipley, man. So much love for Will Shipley. We got a lot of pros going into the draft this year.
4.3940,
38.5 vert, right? 38.5.
Woo!
4.0 GPA, 4.0 GPA every semester. Hey,
4.0 GPA every semester. Dang, man.
Pop off the page.
Go Will.
And you heard.
And the thing is, like,
That you want. Obviously, Clemson would love to have him back.
it's not like 10 years ago where they just like made everything easier as far as academics to allow players to focus on the game more so than academics.
Semester, he already graduated.
You know, some of the colleges did that,
That's how important education was to him.
and we don't do that at Clemson. You know, you earn your degree, you earn your spot on the team. We make sure that you earn it. So when these guys get these 4.0 GPAs, they earn every one of them. You know, that's not a fluke.
So this is the only real scrimmage you get in college, right? How about the schedule for this team? Look at how they open things up. And Dabo, we talked about this. You guys
We're
open the
opening with
season
Georgia
with
again.
Against Georgia. I mean, that's like a college football playoff game in game one.
Block.
Yep. Playoff ready. Play one, game one.
We're going to find out how good we are on the first week, man.
They're pretty good down there in Athens, so it'll be a heck of a game, man. It'll be a lot of fun. Great summer getting ready for that. We all know, what type. The last time these two teams got together, I don't
That's
think
in Georgia. We got Appalachian State, NC State, Stanford. I mean, that's a couple of simple games that we can get through and get wins.
who they are and what they do and how they do it. And
Nice run. Nice run.
it'll be a great environment.
That's what I want to see.
It's a neutral site down there in Atlanta.
Come on, coach.
The running backs look good,
That's
man.
what I've been told. So
Running backs look
it'll be a
good.
great way to
I'm
move
not
the ball
concerned about that.
and then have an opportunity to get better from
The
both
guard pulls are good. The footwork looks good.
Sack!
And that is going to be a sack, you
Right
heard.
here.
But the
Right here,
pass
19.
protection, ugh.
DeMonte Capehart. It's a great job.
Pass protection leaves a lot to be desired.
Working on the center.
I'm a little concerned about that. I'm gonna be real with y'all.
With an injury earlier in the game, Sewell jumped over from the white
But
team to
that's
the
not
orange
it.
team, and for the most part, this orange
It's
offensive
mainly
line
the
has been
tackles I'm
giving
more
Klubnik some
concerned
time.
with,
That's really the
not the
first,
guards.
since maybe the first drive where this white D line got the better of it. Klubnik with time goes to the near
I mean, when
sideline.
Cade has the time, he can throw a short pass
Randall is stopped at
and a
the
medium
45,
pass.
picks up 9.
But deep balls, he has a little bit of trouble with.
See,
I've noticed
I told you
that.
about the curse. I was just giving the orange
And this is the second spring game I've been watching him.
10-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
And there's a holding call, too, on top of it. Come on, guys.
In a press conference
Like, you are killing me right now.
Kate Klubnik's thrown like, I don't know, 260 passes.
Oh, what are y'all doing?
What do you think about that? Well, guess what?
That's a run blocking unit right there. That's what that is. That's an 80% run blocking unit. Go. Go. Nice screen. Nice screen. That's what you want to see right there. That's healthy right there.
Exactly 12 yards back.
That's a healthy screen.
Give you third and manage your ball. And listen, this is where as a quarterback you got to be smart. You know, you get greedy sometimes and you want to make every play. But this is a situation where, you got to lead. And hey, if I can make a play right here, we're going to do that. But man, we got a great defense. If it's not there, let's don't do anything stupid. Let's punt this ball deep and create field position, right? So this is one of those third and 13s where we just got to be smart. Maybe give yourself a forward on fourth down, just like that. Take the underneath throw. So now you got a chance where maybe you make it. Oh, got a face mask.
There you go.
Hey, what a great Clay. Great freaking job.
Olsen
Nice. Nice underneath pass. That was a good read. He took his time.
We had a great conversation with Garrett Riley and Dabo earlier this week about
The offensive line held.
Personal foul, face mask. Number 17 defense. It's a 15-yard penalty added to the end of the run. Automatic.
What protection is this in?
And
face mask here. And once you start to get more comfortable,
you got to get
what's going on your
into a position where you can make those tackles without having to make a face mask penalty. So I don't want to see any more of those face masks. Come on, defense. Come on now. You guys had a solid first quarter, and now you got those face mask penalties, bro. Come on, bro. Can't have that.
Maybe you give yourself a fourth and a chance to go for it.
Block. Open the lane.
But hey, you get it in play. You put yourself in position, and we get a penalty. You got a first down. So just.
All right, so we're gonna be running to the left mostly. That's what that tells me, because every time we've run it to the right, we've hit a brick wall. Maybe it's because of the defensive tackles, but and the linebacker, but we've been stonewalled on that right side so far. Nice screen. I mean, the screens are starting to come together, but you can't just live off the screen, though. Come on, Cade. You can't live off the screen forever, bro. I need to see a little bit more.
Jordan, you saw how quick that ball came out, and it's accurate. That's what makes plays like that go. It's the timing, it's the ball placement. Oh, great job, Woodhouse. I'll tell y'all what, listen, y'all asked me about a guy that nobody knows a whole lot about.
Good pressure. Woodhouse.
But this kid, he's had a really quiet, great first 2 years at Clemson. We just signed him.
There was nobody guarding him.
But
that's that right guard again.
This kid's got a chance.
70. Is it 76 or 78?
He's just made of the right stuff.
76 or 78.
He's a dude, man. And I'm so excited about what I think I'm going to see out of him these next couple of years. He goes by Whoop-Ass, too, by the way. Got some T-shirts for sale out there.
was a nice run by Peyton Strecco.
I love Dabo's sense of humor. It's great.
Yeah.
Little drive. Nice job. Let's see. I bet we take a little shot right here. What we got?
I was going to say, is this second or third? This is third and 1.
All right, 31. Okay, 31. We're gonna get in a little 12. Oh, we got a communication problem. He can't hear. All right, so we're gonna get in a little 12 personnel, little motion, and we're gonna load it up here with the zone.
Play clock is down to 5.
It's hard to tell like where these guys are on the offensive line. Like there's the roster, but I can't tell which side they're on
Working
or
for
what they play. Is it tackle or guard?
ESPN? Is that what we're doing? Is it ESPN?
ESPN, ACC Network.
That's what I'm working for.
Yeah, that's where the paycheck's coming.
ESPN. Every single person needed. That's what I tell them.
Every single person needed.
Incredible, is it?
That's a good one. I haven't heard that one before.
The old bundle with Progressive, you've got the peace of mind to really wonder.
Sorry, you guys are getting the commercials too. I
I
can't.
just hope it stays this way. Once word gets out about these places, they tend
Are you
to.
done?
And there it is.
Well, at least your vehicles are protected.
All right, so
Let's hit the road. Hey, Sam.
what I'm seeing so far is I like Trent. I think we got something in Trent. I like that one drive in the first quarter where he managed to get a touchdown out of it. Quick release, good footwork, good timing, good hands. I mean, it looked good, man. It looked solid. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm not willing to part with Cade right now as the starting quarterback, but I don't know, man. In my opinion, I think we stick with Cade, but I do like Trent as well. I think we do have something there. Cade is not that great under pressure, and you've seen that last year if you're watching Clemson games. And our offensive line was not great either, so that kind of contributed to it too. So to be honest with you, I'm not sure exactly what we're looking at until we fix that offensive line at quarterback. 100%, you know, but I can tell from short and medium passes that Cade can deliver the ball accurately. He can get the ball out, you know, as long as he's communicating with his wide receivers and they're on the same page. You know, he can throw it at least near the wide receiver if it's not accurate. But, you know, I'm more concerned about that offensive line, and I think it's the tackles that are the problem spot right now. And I'm surprised we haven't fixed that through the portal or through recruiting. More so the recruiting, because Dabo chooses he doesn't want to mess around with the portal. So, you know, it's going to take time to fix that line, but we will fix it. Run blocking looks okay. You know, I'm not complaining about the run blocking, it's the pass blocking. Oh, that's offsides.
Let him go. Love that, though. Every receiver working a vertical route, so Cade would have been able to take a shot in the end zone with a free play there.
Offside, defense, number 19.
Oof.
That's a 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Here we go.
Okay, second quarter, the D-line is starting to make a couple of mistakes. Let's see if the offense can capitalize on that.
Correction. It results in a first
Breaking
down.
the huddle quickly, using a little motion.
Yeah, that's like 3 or 4 people on that offsides right there.
Thinking about, okay, my gap changes and bam. Then you get
And they weren't reacting to any movement on the O-line, so that was just all 4 of them
Inside zone right
moving
here.
together.
All right, he's checking inside zone.
yeah, 5-man box.
Okay, so red zone.
Boom. All right, final.
Uh,
Can't do that.
you can't hesitate back there, man.
Second and 9.
You can't hesitate.
Strike out.
These guys get on you too quickly.
Make it second and 9, not second and long. You able to score. You can't be. They say in high school. Get your butt Sometimes you just got to freaking take the punt. Take the single.
I love hearing Dabo in the background just coaching, you know.
All right, here we go. Good job. Good, good. Good job. Nice
Good
job,
D.
Kobe. That's Kobe McLeod. That's Ray McLeod's little brother.
Ray Ray's brother. Okay.
Just played in the
Okay.
Super Bowl, just signed with Falcons.
Hey, Coach,
Love
if
it.
I can go back to what you said to Strecco. So he tried to stretch it outside to pick up more yards. What
Yeah.
would you like to see him do?
Yeah, sometimes you can't hit a home run every time. You just got to bang it. We can't have negative plays, and that's a negative play on him.
Right.
Sometimes it's just going to be a 1-yard game.
Exactly.
Let's make second nine's a whole lot better than whatever, second and 12.
That release time was excellent.
That right there is a great job by Cade Klubnik. So
And that's what I see in Cade right there, you know, with the release time. It's quick, it's efficient, and he gets the ball to his guy on the hook route. You know, there are times when he can really stretch that field and do really well with that release time, but there's also times where under pressure he is absolutely garbage. So he's got to work on that and really focus his efforts on. Ooh, Mr. Denhoff. My goodness. That blitz though. No, that's a defensive end. Where was the blocking? Oh God.
But he is a really, really good player for us. Just steady. He's consistent. He's just a
Yo, these
very,
tackles
very
are
just
needing a lot of work, man. They need a lot of work. Y'all got to work on these guys. This ain't it. Oh my goodness. Okay, screen pass. Little screen pass. Come on, Cade. It's there, man. It's there. It's there, bro. Is that AJ Terrell's brother? Or is that another Terrell? Oh, beautiful pass. Just a yard short. You just got to stretch it, man. Touchdown. Very nice. There you go. That's what happens when a player listens to his coach. Love to see that right there. We got something in this running back, man. I like this dude. 23. Let me see. Mr. Peyton Strecco. I see something in Strecco, man. I see something in him. I see that CJ Spiller animal in him, man. He's got a little work to do, though. But, you know, taking direction from Dabo like he just did and pushing the ball upfield and getting those extra yards, that's what matters. That's what's going to be the difference maker during games. So, but yeah, Cade is having some issues, man, when it comes to pressure. It's a concern.
Sorry, that's our ghost.
Yeah, okay.
It's more annoying than anything.
It is definitely a concern.
Well then, let's see if we can save you some.
I'll try to cut down volume during commercials. But I do see something in this defensive line unit, man. This defensive line unit is nasty for Clemson. My thing is this. If we put Cade back out there again this year, you know, because I'm a Clemson fan. That's why I'm doing this live stream scrimmage. And any YouTubers that are fans of specific colleges, go for it, man. If you want to do like a stream covering your specific scrimmage, I fully encourage you to do so. You know, because it's good knowledge and um it's good for your community too. You know, if people like certain colleges like Georgia, for instance, you know, go check out their scrimmage. You know, do a live stream on it. I'd love to know about your players. You know, I'd love to know what your thoughts are on certain people. You know, I watch those streams. Absolutely. And vice versa. I'm doing the same for Clemson players because I want people to know who we have. You know, that way you know what you're looking at. Because these are future NFL stars right here. Some of them are. Some of them won't be. It all depends. But if I see something, I'm going to point it out. Because I go to these spring games every year. This year I couldn't make it, but that's why I'm watching it on ACC Network. And I'm glad I chose to because Dabo is doing some commentary. Because I want to hear what he has to say. You're going to get some coaching here. Not just basic commentary.
Chance to kick off. Beautiful day here, Death Valley.
It's kind of like
Yeah, that D-line looks lit though, man. That D-line looks lit. These guys are coming at him today. People were talking all kinds of trash about the D-line before this game, and it motivated the heck out of them. I don't think that's going to work with the O-line, but you could try. They're more 80-20 run blocking oriented. So, we'll see.
phone call from the boss? Sorry. Outdoor time. It's me time.
I hear that. That's why we protect all your vehicles here. But hey, nothing wrong with sticking it to them.
I like what I saw in the first quarter defensively. But I'm going to need that white team to start picking it up. You need to see a balanced scoreboard. That's what you need to see. It should look something like 25-25, you know, by the end of this game. You know, that's how you know you got a balanced team. And I'm looking at it right now, and I'm seeing that scoreboard right now, and I don't like that. That tells me, okay, we got to do a better job in pass protection. You know, we got to do a better job in coverage, because these guys are starting to burn our corners. On the white team there, but overall, I love the defensive pressure. I love the pressure. But that O-line has got to step up and meet it. You know, and that's the problem. They're not stepping up and they're not meeting it. So I've got a little bit of an issue there. We're not closing up those A gaps and B gaps. And it's showing, you know, when you're watching this. We haven't been able to run to the right at all. That's possibly the meat of the defensive line right there. You know, the stronger ones. But,
we didn't see a ton of Burley last year as he was growing and getting comfortable in the offense, and we really did start to see it as the season progressed. But he's had the answers today. And as a quarterback, you have to know where the ball goes. They do this, I do this. They come out in this, I go here. Right? It's such a fallacy to think quarterbacks walk up and they go through 5 reads after the snap. No, that doesn't happen. You can eliminate 2 or 3 options or 1 or 2 options before the ball is snapped. You play faster and you make better decisions, and that's what I'm seeing today out of Cade.
in all fairness, Cade does look better than he did last spring game.
In the pass to Sapp, a tight end.
Because last spring game, he looked terrible.
Well, I've been impressed with Pierman today.
Yeah.
The offensive line has improved a little bit since last year, but not enough.
And I love that. I can't remember if Dabo, you said it, or Garrett Riley said it. Just when he comes in, good things happen. Doesn't matter who he's throwing to.
Yeah, he moves everybody. You know, he's not as big. He doesn't have quite the arm talent as the other guys.
Good run.
But he makes
there you
up
go.
for it with his knowledge and his timing.
Good 3 yards.
He's a quick trigger. He can pull the ball because he really sees it and understands. He's very comfortable, and he can run. He's got a little savviness to him and a little gamesmanship. He's a good player, man. He's back-to-back Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of South Carolina. You know, this is a kid that's won back-to-back state championships. And again,
I mean, the screens are working, but you got to. You got to have more. Let's go, Trent.
Got that one out to Chase Bird for the first down. Picked up 10. Now he keeps it himself.
Not bad, Trent. There you go. There you go.
He's got it.
Hey. That's what you want to see right there.
49 yards.
Yes, sir, Trent. Good read.
Good gamesmanship right there. That's just a baller making
Trent
a play.
Pierman.
Well, you were telling me the white offense before.
They're not going for 2?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. So before this drive, Coach Swinney was going up.
Yeah, 2-point conversion attempt, man. This is a great opportunity to see, can we get it?
He's going over there and ask
You never know when we're going to run into that situation.
It's touchdown. Point for try.
Oh, so he's going to call timeout now. Yep. Oh, Dabo went over there and convinced Wes, hey, come on, what are we doing?
Timeout. Kicking team.
All right, so
I like this.
Dabo, we have to have a word right now.
Hey, hang on. Hey, boy, how about that? What you got to say, Trent Pierman?
I got nothing. Let's go for 2.
What'd you think about that?
It was great.
Let's go. Go for 2. He said, let's go for 2.
Love it.
Hey,
Love it.
I want to know, we talked about this on our call, and you said that you were going to critique your coaches, whether or not
this is cool.
Timeout, go for 2, whatever. What just happened right there? You intervened.
Oh, I just gave a little love over there, Look, it's a running clock in the second half. I think they forgot that.
Yeah, you got to get points.
So, heck no, that's a touchdown. No, that's a. He dove and tried to. He dove and waved. I appreciate you. Yeah, that was a. You can't run a quarterback down. Come on. He ran right by all y'all.
Look, I know the quarterbacks are technically not lying.
Dang, he is not lying.
He's 100% live.
Replay, Al Riveron.
Yep.
He scored.
He scored.
Remember during the season, you owe me.
Now going for the 2-point conversion. Adams motions in.
Yo, Jaden, where were you on that play, man? Where were you on that?
Sidearm.
Oh.
That's all right. Hey, let's go. Get off. All the way
Jamal
off.
Anderson again.
Nice job.
Had the interception.
Jamal Anderson, okay.
Great play by Anderson, closing the gap here.
In a real game, you take that extra point right there.
Yeah,
The clock's gonna go fast.
exactly.
It's running in the second half.
Very true.
Good decision right there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, nice job. What a play.
In a spring game, you can get away with trying that and messing around.
If he was live, he's not getting tackled.
No,
The guy
that's
dove
a
at him.
touchdown.
Guy tried to grab a shoelace,
That's
couldn't
a
grab
touchdown
it.
all the way. I ain't calling that dive, prayer, reach. I ain't calling that. Hey, he just hit up right up inside. Two guys.
It's true.
Two guys right there. He just gave him the jukey juke.
Randall right now making these catches.
I love Dabo.
Yeah, big time.
I love the energy today.
It's only his fifth practice of the spring. He's been
Great
out
energy,
since,
man.
Day 4. So it's good to get him back. He strained his quad, so this is good for him, especially with some momentum going into the summer.
And they just show the mascot on the bike.
Hey, it's just a one-score game. What score, 9?
Right when he said that.
You gotta get that pick 6 back. Hey, that's the difference right now. You gotta get the pick 6 back. Hey, gotta get that pick 6 back. Somewhere along the way, you gotta get that pick 6 back. How about it?
I love that energy, man.
Will make his way back out.
He just brings so much energy as a coach.
21-12.
And it's just amazing.
To go. They just had a very
He's
long drive.
he's
Now let's
very
see what he can do
smart, and he knows, when to encourage these guys, when to give constructive criticism. It's just so fun to watch Dabo as a coach on the sidelines. Even if you can't hear him, you can see it through his emotions on the field. What he's thinking, how he's feeling. He's very vocal through his body motions and through his through just his personality.
How about that?
That's right, they did.
It's a heck of a job, man. Really proud of Coach Brownell and all those guys. Get rid of it.
He does.
Block.
He throws it behind his
Come
receiver.
on, man.
He had to get rid of that quick. Had no pressure.
This dude can't block a beach ball.
Tristan Martinez, the intended
My
receiver.
God.
Noah Dixon, the defender, got a hand on it. So now 3rd and 7, just what you're talking about, potentially 2 for 1.
Dude, he has allowed like at least 7 pressures today by himself. Come on, man.
I think they're going to play a little coverage.
Focus. Oh my God.
Good job.
Oh,
Nice
right
job,
through
Cade.
the
Nice job, Cade. Hey, go pick him up. Pick him up, too. Pick him up. Oh, I hate to see that, man. That's a kid that we're really counting on. Olsen Pat Henry. And again, let me just say
Dude,
this.
79
This
just
is
let
why
go of
this
his
game is
block.
so important.
Just straight up let
This
go
kid
of
is
it.
killing it in practice.
Didn't even try.
He's going to be a star tight end. He's unbelievably talented. But he hadn't been in this environment yet. So, all of a sudden it's different. And not quite as locked in, and maybe a little bit outside in instead of inside out. And next thing you know, got a routine play that you don't make.
And that was a rocket. I mean, that was right on the money, but
Right
that ball
there,
had some
right
juice.
Yeah, you got to start making those types of
And he's not
catches,
running.
man.
He's going to go a ways.
Also, Pat Henry,
Those are
man.
the
Come
plays
on,
right
bro.
there. Those are the layups. Those are layups. You got to make the layups, man.
Exactly.
Those are layups.
Exactly.
The defense does the job. It forces the 3 and out.
Well said,
White team
Dabo.
gets the ball back with 2:52 to go.
I think that's the first drop we've had, though. I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the first drop, maybe.
I think so. There's been a couple contested
Yeah, that's the
balls
first
down
drop.
sidelines,
It's the first-
but
yeah.
I think so.
It's the first true drop, and we don't have Cole Turner today. We don't have Tyler Brown today. We don't have Stellato today. We got another young man, T.J. Moore, coming in this summer that's not here yet. That's a good ball, good timing.
Good pass.
Pass is caught.
All right,
by
we get a chance to
Mason
manage the
Kelly.
clock right here. Let's see. Well, they got 2 timeouts.
Okay, Trent.
2 timeouts.
Let's see what you're really made of.
For CB here.
Let's see what you're really made of, sir.
And a 2-minute
We got
warning.
2.5 minutes.
Plenty of time.
Come on,
You can still
Trent.
run the ball here. There's
Oh, there's the lack of blocking again. Come on, O-line. Ah, you're killing me. You got to open up those gaps if you want to run the ball.
Obviously, Coach Venable's son.
Yeah, how were you able to keep him?
I don't know. Maybe I'm
Yikes, man.
I don't know. But nah, he grew up here.
That's why the white team people are
Grant
second
loves the fact
stringers.
that he's here. And I'm
Right
sure
there.
He's watching today. But
That's the
it's
difference.
just, yeah, 2 minute whistle. This is a
Yeah.
new deal. Hey, 2-minute warning.
2 minute.
So this is a new deal in college football this year. They're going to give us a 2
Please
minute
reset
warning.
the game clock to 2
Yeah, but I
minutes.
can't say enough about that.
They're actually doing the 2-minute warning in college football now?
He's truly just
Interesting.
unbelievably
Interesting.
smart.
I kind of like that, though. Because
He's
it
like
makes
he
it
goes
more
as a
like the
player
NFL.
coach, he coaches.
I like
He's a
that.
good one. Happy to see him back out here healthy playing.
Well, we've got the 2-minute warning here in the first half. 3rd and 9 coming up with the orange team on top.
I honestly like the,
Wait, not in the toilet.
No, don't do that.
Don't hit your brother.
sorry, I got to turn down the volume during commercials, but, I like these quick release passes. These are good. We've got to get a little bit quicker, though. Because the tempo isn't quite there to what what we were used to seeing, for about 5, 6, 7 years in Clemson. And I think Cade is able to do it, but you got to give him the protection, for consistent drives. And the problem is we weren't able to do that last year. So my whole issue here is specifically, you got to be able to keep that defender engaged. Otherwise, he's going to run circles around you. And these guys don't have that kind of discipline right now. I don't know whether they're freshman offensive linemen or what, but they don't have that kind of discipline on either side. And it's a little bit of a concern. Because these defensive ends are only getting stronger and stronger and stronger throughout college football. They're going to get stronger and more physical and push you around. You got to build up muscle. You got to build up strength and work on your footwork and hands. Otherwise, you're going to get run over. Straight up. If you don't recruit big enough guys, and say Florida State steals somebody from us, or say North Carolina steals somebody from us that's a big guy like that during recruiting, that's a concern. You got to get these guys signed here. Since Dabo doesn't want to do the transfer portal. So I've got issues there that I've got questions about. But they are 80-20 run protection.
Stepping up over the middle. That's
oh, no! Trent. That's why he's a backup, though. Because he's not used to these reads yet. Oh, he caught a break. He caught a break. He caught a break. Oh, snap.
Wow. Offsides?
You can't always count on getting those breaks, though. You got to deliver the ball and read it well enough, though.
Oh, man.
Good protection, though.
He's trying to hit a seam route underneath.
Good protection, and that's what I was more concerned with. I was watching that O-line. All right, so it's 6 in the box. They brought another guy up. All right, so the blitz.
Pressure coming. Ball up in the air. And it's incomplete, but a flag on
pass
the play.
interference.
The question is, was there a sack first?
Pass interference, or was there a sack first?
I didn't hear Dabo's whistle go off, so
I didn't either.
Rodgers, what'd you think right there?
Oh, wow. They're calling it a pass interference. Okay. They're going to be a little bit more generous during spring games.
let's see, we got it right here.
Oh, completely unblocked.
That would have hurt him tomorrow.
Yikes, man. Good release, though. Good ball placement. You'd like to see that ball placed a little bit more towards the sideline, but that's okay.
All right, here we go. 2 safety look. Let's see how we got split field.
Okay. Okay. Good blocking. Good blocking.
That's a sack. 55. 55. That's a sack.
Oh, shoot.
He's a passer. No, it's a sack. 55.
Peyton Page.
Yeah, that one I'll say that would have been a sack.
55. I don't
Yeah, that's a sack.
when he's in the pocket as a passer.
That's the 6th sack for the Orange defense today.
Going verticals again right here.
Block.
Pressure coming again.
That's gone. That's gone. That's clean. That's clean.
Good.
That's clean. Hey, Hoffman, go play.
Keith Adams Jr. makes the catch.
Are Those vertical routes, they keep dialing it up. We used to call it Aggie, all go special, whatever you want to call it. Tough against a drop 8 look. When the defense is dropping 8, they have a high hole player in the middle of the field and a linebacker underneath. So it really sucks up all those windows you have to try to squeeze those vertical routes in there. So CB did a good job there, just getting to the check down. As the defense backs up, just keep moving it downfield with those check downs. Now there's a little less than 40 seconds left, but you want to at least try to get in field goal range.
Right. We've already seen the freshman Nolan Hooser hit a couple.
I got 2 left. Hey, you got one more. You got one more. Got one more. Hey, they got one more.
Is that what you have to do against those type of defenses, is just check down?
Yes. Especially now, right? Because you need about at least 12 more yards to try to get in the field goal range. So you don't want to try to get 30 and throw an interception.
All right, little mesh concept right here.
3rd and 5.
That's going to hurt. All right.
Yeah.
Good job.
Myson Kelly.
You got to go. You got to go. Clock's running.
Clock's running.
Shelton Lewis made the nice open field tackle with the clock running at 25 seconds. And the final timeout will be taken here by the white team.
That's their last timeout of the half.
Weren't able to get back and lined up quick enough to get a playoff there.
That's concerning.
And that's where when you know you have that one timeout as a quarterback, and you heard Coach saying mesh concept.
Yeah.
It means you got crossers coming over the middle of the field that you can throw over the middle of the field. Instead of throwing that flat route
because you're the timeout
into a sitting corner, work that middle of the field when it's open, and then you can call that timeout.
So now no more timeouts. 4th and 3. They have to get to the 37-yard line.
And this is one of those things that the Clemson offense does well, is they will take a 24-second clock and they will get you further and further into field goal range.
Play clock at 8.
Gotta hurry.
With those quick out routes and stuff like that the NFL does. Let's see how good these guys. Oh, God!
That was his running back, Keith Adams Jr.
He's trying to hit a little bit of a fade right there to the outside, and guy took a hit, man.
You ain't even got time for a pee break. It's going to be a quick halftime. We're going to play again.
Well, let's just make sure.
Shake a leg and go.
Let's make sure right now that Adams is okay.
Got a little breath knocked out of him right there.
I saw his grandmother actually checking
He'll be all right. That kid's
in yesterday.
Grits and steel. Got a little breath knocked out.
Keith Adams Jr.
Hey, make that play.
Dude took a hit, man.
Make that play.
Sheesh.
Hang on to it. It's going to hurt either way. Hang on to it.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt if you catch it or don't catch it.
Easier said than
Right.
done, but
Exactly. Well said.
I never had that problem. I didn't have to run over the middle, thankfully. I got to throw guys there.
Screen.
Here on 1st down.
Cade loves his screens.
That is probably. No. Have they taken the timeout?
Yeah.
Timeout. Orange. Please put 17 seconds back on the game clock. 1-7. Thank you.
They get 2 timeouts. Are we giving them or 3? They getting all 3? Got one left. Okay. So yeah, one left here. Again, field goal range. You got to at least get. What do we think, Coach? 35. We got a leg to get a 52-yarder.
Does he have the arm to get there?
Oh, love it. Okay.
Hey, so I want to know what the heck's going on over here. I got Chase Bryce. All right, made one of the biggest plays in Clemson history. You know, Cervinka takes credit for that because it was 4th and 1 and he jumped offside. Otherwise, we'd have handed it to Etienne, but because it's 4th and 6, we had to throw it. So he takes credit for that.
On that?
There was hesitation.
Klubnik
What?
over the middle. And that's
Oh,
incomplete.
Oh, we need to make that one.
gotta make that catch.
Henry.
Come on, baby, make that big play.
Now it's the confidence thing. He
That
had
Henry,
drop
man.
Earlier.
Start thinking about it a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a
Hey, make that, man. Hey, that's big boy play.
confidence issue there for sure.
and trying to get about 13 yards here to attempt a long field goal.
They go with a run to Jarvis Green. Jarvis Green now has to get down with 5 seconds. They use that final timeout.
Long field goal. Here it comes. Rubber goal.
Okay, long
Coach,
field
if you
goal.
can't talk about the holder here on these kicks, how is this kid the holder?
Robert Gunn III.
Coach, I'm not sure if you heard me, but I was just wondering how is the
Florida.
scouting report on the holder for the kicks?
He's got a great mama. I'm going to tell you that. She's amazing. I met her in the 1st grade, and we started going together in the 6th grade and dated through high school and college. Been married 30 years, and he's our baby boy. He's the 3rd one, and he does a heck of a job. I hope I don't jinx him right here, but he does a heck of a job for us.
That's amazing. 55-yard field goal attempt here
Hey,
by Robert Gunn.
Hey, he's got more than this. He's got plenty. This kid's got leg from 60 plus. If he's just out in
60
plus?
plus?
He hits a driver, and sometimes he only needs like a 7-iron.
Clay Sweeney holding. The kick.
Oh, plenty of leg. Just pushed on him a little bit. Hey, good guy. Hey, good kick.
Good kick, though. Good kick.
Hey, that's a good effort right there. Good effort, man.
That's the end of the first half.
Hey, I just want to know I got the chance. All right? That's good. Good job, man.
Hey, Coach, before we hit halftime here, just a thought from you on what we've seen in this first half.
Well, good competitive game, and the difference has been the pick 6. You know, unbelievable play by Jamal. He made a big pick 6. Otherwise, you got a really tight game. Couple of big plays, you know. Nice play by Wesco for a touchdown. Couple of really good plays by Pierman on the long run to get the white team back in it. So, hey, we got a nice little competitive game. We'll see what happens here in the second half.
Sounds great.
Don't go anywhere. We're coming back quick.
Oh, we're not going anywhere. Just a quick commercial break. He's pulling double duty. Now he's going to talk to the entire stadium. We've got a fun one here. Justin Kutcher, Jordan Rogers, and Dabo Sweeney here for the Clemson spring game. And a touchdown run by Trent Pierman.
I think we got something in Trent, man. I like Trent. I'm
I'm a stuntman.
I'm feeling good about Trent's development so far. Like, it looks good. It looks healthy. You know, he's able to get the ball out quickly. He's able to make good reads. You know, he knows when to run. He knows when to stay put. You know, and try to wait out the wide receiver and see if he can get a pass up over the middle or something. You know, so he knows. He's very self-aware. I've read that about Trent so far. I'm very encouraged as far as that goes. We've had good quarterback development. We just got to work on footwork, technique, you know, little things when these guys are under pressure. Because Cade, some of these guys, either they have the skills or they don't, you know, coming in. And you got to develop them and see if you can get the most out of them. And whatever you can get, you can get. Whatever you can't, you can't. You know, when it comes to development at Clemson. And you can usually tell if these guys are not going to be fruitful or not going forward. But I like Trent. Trent is definitely somebody to keep an eye on at Clemson. I think if we continue that development, he has a bright future. It's uncertain as far as how far he will go. We do need to get him the proper protection, though. And if we can recruit the right protection for him. I think Trent could be the next winner here. I do think so. In Clemson. There's a lot of talent on this roster. You know, you saw some of it on display in the first half. If you've been following it on the stats tracker. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get it up here, so that we can kind of look at the first half stats. I am a little concerned with the reads that we've been making. You know, that's been a concern since last year with Cade as well. So let me see here. There we go. Let's see if we can get a live game tracker here of the stats, because that's what I want. Not on ESPN, we're not. Alright. Spring game. Okay. So far we have Cade Kubinak 10 for 19, 82 yards and a pick. Trent went 6 for 6, 73 yards and a touchdown, 46 rushing yards and a touchdown. And then you add Antonio as well. All right, we're back. We're starting early.
And the orange team will start with the ball, and it's going to be Pierman in at quarterback.
Oh!
Up down the sideline, and there is a flag on the play.
Aggressive.
Charlie Johnson, the intended receiver.
Aggressive right out of the gate. Okay, Trent, I see you. I wonder if they cut down halftime in order to speed up the game, maybe.
See there at the bottom of your screen.
Oh!
Actually, a really good ball by Pierman, who again now is back on the orange team after leading the drive.
Good pass, though. Good protection.
Oh, there looks to be some movement early before the snap, but Pierman just gets rid of it.
They might throw a late flag on this one.
Trent, that's probably a penalty.
Where was the wide receiver, Trent?
That's probably a penalty.
Pay attention, buddy.
Hey, who you going?
Intentional grounding. Number 14, offense. No one in the area. Replay first down.
At least in the county we're living in.
Correction. Loss of down. Second down.
What's the next county over?
So it's second down.
Yeah, he's just throwing it away, and I mean, we're trying to throw it over. The crosser's coming, but yeah, it's got to be. We got to at least fake them out. It's got to be close. All right, tough penalty.
You gotta throw it out of bounds, yeah. At least get it over there.
On 2nd and 15. On the
Okay.
slants.
Oh, Jackson Crosby. I love this kid. This little Crosby kid.
Jackson
Kid
Crosby,
from
okay.
Heck of a player. He's, I think,
Good pass,
his
Trent.
4th year in the program. He's a little returner. Can really
Trent's
play all
looking
three
smooth.
positions.
Look
Got
at
some skill,
this.
man. He's a good little player. Was a former quarterback.
Nice little slant play.
Pierman actually beat him out in high school.
Really?
He moved a wide out. I got a chance. I mean, this kid's got some ability. He's a good little player. What we got?
All right, Trent, you got my attention, buddy. Let's see what you got. Dial up the pressure a little. Let's see what he can do. There you go. There you go. Nice. Nice, Trent.
That's a little man screen right there.
Very nice.
We got to get a blocker on his man. What we got?
I like this.
All right, here we go. Tristan Rigby, baby, from Louisiana.
All right, D-line, where you at? Put some heat on these guys. I want to see this offensive line tested too.
Go get it. Go get it, Rig. Go get it, Rig. Go get it, Rig.
Go, 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 go. Nice run, dude.
Tell you what, he was looking for that stiff arm early.
This kid here, man, he's a kid. This
Rigby.
Much,
okay.
but he's one of the most committed kids we've ever had come through this program. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I got cut off.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, we got
you.
Again.
All right, Trent.
Another nice play.
All right.
That
was a good 10, 12-yard pass right there.
All right, so
on a little post route. Okay.
Coach on the field. We just have to get the IFB going again.
Yes, sir.
You know, Coach was talking about Crosby, one of the reserve wide receivers, and I think one of my takeaways so far, and again, in the second half, as the clock starts to run, we're going to see a lot of guys who maybe don't get to play.
I like what I'm seeing right now.
Getting their first opportunity. This receiving group is deep.
Oh!
As Pyramid here takes off again using his legs.
Look at Trent.
4 scholarship guys played today. A lot of guys set. A lot of guys are
okay.
Some injuries. Maybe could have gone if it was a Saturday in the fall, but held out of this spring. You saw Brian Wesco.
I'm seeing a little bit of Deshaun Watson in this dude right here.
Him and Cole Turner were the best
I'm
two
seeing
guys
a little bit of.
Year, and both of them missed almost the
I'm seeing a little bit of Watson.
So to have those guys healthy, add some guys like Wesco, the talent, going to have another one more coming in the summer who's a highly rated receiver. I mean, I think this is as good as this wide receiver group has looked for Clemson in a number of years.
All right, don't hesitate. Run
right
through
away.
that gap, man.
Rigby.
Run through that gap, Rigby.
Somebody hit the cut button. Coach Sweeney cut button.
That was me, Coach. That was me. I was cutting you off.
I was talking about Rigby, man. I love this kid. I mean, no matter what time, we get back at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. He always meets the team. And you saw Banks Pope make a nice play right there. And another good little drive. But, yeah, man, you know, we thought our 2 best receivers coming out of camp were Cole Turner and Antonio Williams, and neither one of them really were able to
Good
play.
awareness. Good awareness on the blitz.
Tyler Brown,
to throw that ball away.
Stellato, man, really came
I like it.
us. Adam Randall, man, he battled some injuries, really finished the season well for us. Another guy we think is.
Trevor, you looking smooth, buddy.
You know, and then TJ.
Let's go.
So we got a lot of guys, but these guys have done a nice job, and we've got some walk-ons that can play as well. So we like the room.
Dabo Swinney's son is in the wide receiver core.
It's poised and ready to go make a bunch of plays for the Tigers.
For the Orange right now.
3rd and 12 coming up. Pierman, high throw.
You got to come down with that.
That's the play Adam Randall made earlier, right? High.
Yeah, the one Randall caught was maybe a little further behind him.
If you got the vertical, you got to come down with that.
Make that play. You touch it, you catch it.
Just to put in perspective, as we talk about these receivers, and you heard Coach talk about Antonio Williams and Cole Turner being the best 2 guys at a camp last year. You have a quarterback really making his first year as a starter. You have a brand new offensive coordinator. You have your 2 best receivers out of camp get hurt, and you're sitting at 4-4 going, yeah, this is what happens sometimes. You know what I mean? And again, we had a great conversation with Coach about staying
good
on
drive,
top of that
though.
and how
Good
difficult it
drive.
is in this day and age in college.
Very good drive,
but
Trent.
It was last year was about how they finished.
That's very encouraging right there. That's what I need to see.
When you take a step back, why there were some of the struggles early last year.
Absolutely, and you bring up a lot of great points and stuff that we'd love to talk with Coach about as well. But
so they put Trent over on the Orange team.
Time and time again, you can go one of 2 ways.
That's what they did. He was originally on the white team earlier.
Coach, finishing 5-0 last year and getting that bowl game.
No. He's been orange. He's been orange.
How
My bad.
crucial was that for this year?
Well, I think they gained a lot of confidence. The biggest thing is you know, you're 4-4, and a lot of places will become 4-8.
Yep.
You know, and not all 4-4s are the same. You know, we lost the game where we rushed for 250 plus, threw for 250 plus, and
Yep.
and first time in 128 years we lost a game doing that. We lost on a pick six. We lost a game in overtime. We lost a game in double overtime. You know, but we just couldn't hold on the ball. I mean, we were terrible in ball security and really missed field goals. And so
yeah, we got slaughtered by Duke too. 28-7 in the starter game. Last year.
Of this place.
I'm still trying to get that bad taste out of my mouth, man, as a Clemson fan.
To finish the year, and in a place like Clemson,
Ugh.
where the expectations are high as they should be, you know, there's a lot of noise that comes from that, a lot of disappointment. And man, these kids, they rose up and they battled and they beat some really good teams and some really good quarterbacks.
Yeah, they did.
And finished, and then with a game-winning 2-minute drive in the bowl game, just a lot of confidence and a lot of belief. I'm proud of them. You know, we've had 13 years in a row with 9+ wins. There's only one other school that can say that. You know, so these guys will take that momentum in the spring like they've done in the summer. And hey, we're going to be around for a long time. You know, it's hard to win, and nobody's won more consistently than us for a long time. So, you know, these guys.
Other than Bama.
I think they've kind of got some wind in themselves. Confidence. Our quarterback is growing. We got a lot of guys back. If we can stay healthy, we're going to be a tough team to beat.
So if we can just talk about that.
But even Bama dropped off the map for a while.
We talked about it before. You guys are opening the season in Atlanta against
Hey,
Georgia.
good job,
One of
D.
the
Picking up that
focal
screen.
points for you when you
Good
came
job.
here to Clemson was saying,
There you go.
I want to play the top teams, a tough.
You can always see that
non-conference
screen so
schedule.
many times.
Why was
That kid
so
keeps
important
throwing it,
for you?
man.
Well, I mean,
Before you start
gotta
picking
know
up
what
on it.
looks like. And, you know, I felt like
And that game speed, it goes a lot
we're not
faster
gonna win all those games, but
than what you're seeing in spring practice right now.
More than our fair share.
So if he wants to rely on that screen pass, they're going to shut that down in 0.5 seconds, man.
The margin for error is very small. So,
If you face a really good defense. So I need to see something more out of Cade here. Come on, man.
To expose him. And so,
A couple of slant plays is not enough.
That's what we've recruited here. It's hard at practice here. You know, you get exposed at practice if you don't show up ready to compete. And then the same thing with our schedule. With who we play in conference and out of conference, man, it battle tests you. Get you battle tested, get you ready to go.
That's behind them, Cade. Come on, man.
Hey, we're the second. We got the
Focus.
second most playoff wins in the country. You know, that's not an accident. We've played the best of the best. We've won.
I like Cade as a person, man, but good grief, man. Under pressure, he is just trash.
Is, you know, these guys, they go through the fires. They go through the battles. And certainly when you play a team like Georgia,
it's good to get all this garbage out of the way now, though. You know what I mean? Like,
so, you know, if you want to,
I see him being a
get to the top of the mountain,
4th or 5th round draft pick by the time he finishes.
So it's an opportunity to teach and grow your team. You know,
as a quarterback. Like, he's got the potential to go further, but he's just hitting that brick wall.
It's a long season, but there's a lot of opportunity.
You know what I mean? Like, he's hitting that brick wall.
When you play in games
I'm just
like
not
that.
seeing it. I'm not seeing the
That's why I
development.
love doing it. And, you know, over the... And then when I got the job, there was a narrative, you know, that we didn't play anybody at Clemson.
Yeah.
Well, I said, well, let's go play them. And we played them all.
Right.
Except the Dallas Cowboys. See, it got in yet. So we played everybody. And we're not perfect, but we've been pretty dadgum good.
12-minute formation on the receiving
we'll keep
team.
rolling and
That 5-yard penalty
the exciting
results in a
way to
first
start the
down.
season. And
Okay.
hey, listen, it doesn't get any easier. Man, Georgia's a tough opponent, as we know. And then we come back and play App State. I don't know why we scheduled App State. Now, I didn't sign off for that. Lord have mercy.
Texas A&M a few years ago learned that one as well.
Yeah, App State has
It don't
been
matter
dangerous.
Who's at App State? That's one of them schools that you're like, you know what? Let's don't schedule them.
You know what I love though, Coach? You brought up some good points. Is that you made the Final Four 6 straight years, and you didn't shy away from taking games out of conference that were tough.
No.
But the way the playoff was structured, it kind of incentivized teams to not do that.
That's right.
Because it didn't really matter who you played; it mattered how many
That's
you
it.
lost.
That's a
what
sack,
I like
Cade.
about this new
Throw the
era of
ball.
College football is with
Come
the
on,
12-team
bro.
playoff. Now, kind of, it continues to incentivize teams to make a statement with some of those out of conference. And you know what? You can lose one of those, not that you want to, but then your season's not over.
Yeah, well, you know, my philosophy when I got the job
Cade
was
off the field now?
my AD,
Cade's off the
play
field
10
now.
Power Fives.
So it's 17?
I think everybody should.
And let's play 10 Power Fives. Let's play one group of 5, and then let's play a team from our state that we can maybe help a little bit financially.
All right, so this is Christopher visiting.
Our model. And I said, and the reason
Okay,
is,
fair
man,
enough.
I want us to
fair
be,
enough.
I
I'm
wanna
not
win
expecting
at the highest
third-string
level. The only way we're gonna do that
quarterback to be
is you gotta
spectacular.
prepare them for that. You don't sneak up on it, man.
I was wrong, guys. I was wrong. It's not Cade.
I mean, we played, you know, that's why we played Texas A&M and Notre Dame. And
I didn't notice the number until I just saw it.
We played a lot of these people for years and years and
I
years.
was paying attention to his throwing style and his technique and everything.
And belief. And that's what we got to continue to do.
All right, Christopher, come on, man.
See other schools,
focus up.
Happy, and they just beat East Bogo Community College. and
hey,
you know,
I've heard good things about them.
Yeah. Sack.
Y'all got a block, man.
All of a sudden they're 4-0 and they ain't played a soul.
Yep.
And everybody feels good about it. But guess what? They finished 7-5. And so, you know, I've just always been about not trying to get to a bowl.
I like that D-line, though.
At the highest level. And so the best way to do that is
that D-line has come to play today.
Well, Coach, you know, it's funny. I'm sitting here looking up across, and I see the college football playoff, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. You see the national championships in 2016, 2018. Since 2015, you guys are 30-9 versus AP top 25 teams.
Yeah. So, you know, you get in those games, and you don't panic because it's just another day. You know, I mean, you just another day, because that's what you see in practice. That's what you see. You learn to play to a standard. You don't play to an opponent. You don't play to a kickoff time. You don't play to who's covering it on TV. You don't play to what kind of uniform you're wearing. You play to a standard. And as we say, let's play. We play Clemson every week, and if we don't lose to Clemson, we got a pretty dang good chance to win a ball game. And you know,
good point.
We didn't make the playoff, and we weren't good enough in 21. But 22, we were good enough. Won this league, won 11 games, and we screwed it up right here at home by 1 point. If we don't lose that game, we're in the playoff. And last year we were good enough, but we couldn't hang on the ball. So, you know, we got to get back to doing what we got to do to earn our way there to finish, because you're not entitled to get there. And so, you know, it's
right.
Good. It's a growth opportunity.
Right.
Everybody on this team.
Panthers, take notes.
These guys all came here to win. Every kid I've signed has won a championship except last year's freshman. So they're on the clock. They ain't done nothing but win 9 games. I remind them of that every day. So they're going to have more opportunity, and I don't have any doubt they'll win a championship before they leave.
I want to say that's very similar
Set a standard,
to what
guys.
Tom Izzo did at Michigan State and has done at Michigan State, where
I want to say a few things once they hit commercial break on that, because that was excellent. Those were some excellent points that Dabo just made right there. That's how you set a standard in a team.
And it talks about,
and our management could take a lot of information from this and learn from it in Carolina.
Yeah, well, you're not entitled
up in Charlotte.
Nobody gets to stay on top of the mountain. You got to earn it every year. You got to start over. You got to love the journey to it. You got to fall in love with all the stuff that it takes.
That's a tackle for loss.
It takes a lot of hard work, and you know it's not going to
always
go your way. But if you can be a person of consistency, if you can be a program of consistency, then
in our case, a team of consistency.
Have those special moments.
In Charlotte.
Speaking of those special
moments, said, Dabo. I love that.
2018, you get to
I love that. There's so much to dissect that we can learn from.
What is that ultimately like after all the work that goes into it?
Yeah, I mean it's indescribable.
This is a ball coach, y'all. This is a ball coach.
I tell people if we're going to be judged by, if we're only going to be looked at as successful winning the national championship, they've won 3 in 129 years. You know,
True.
Miserable
True.
Life. And listen, very few people have experienced what a moment like that feels like, and it is indescribable. I've done it as a player. I've done it a couple times as a coach, and you know what? I've been on the other side of it too, when the confetti's flying and you got your head down walking off the field.
Yep.
And it's really an indescribable thing. But what you learn from that is when you wake up the next morning, you go, "That's it." You know, it ain't about that. Life's about the journey. Life's about the climb. Life's about the failures. Life. You got to enjoy each and every day, and you got to fall in love with what it takes. And listen, it's fun to do that, but you know what you got to love? Can you do it again? Got him. Double move.
Oh! Oh! Let's go! What a freaking pass!
But you gotta fall in love with
Okay, 1-7. We see you.
And you know it's hard, but
That was a catch in traffic too.
It's the adversity, all of that stuff is what you remember.
Good screen. Good screen.
More so than the
Ooh, good tackle.
We've got a flag flying in here.
That's horse collar.
Little reverse flea flicker. How about the catch? Ball's a little underthrown, but the jump to go climb the ladder and use hands like that.
Who was five? Who was
Really
five? I gotta see.
That was a phenomenal play.
Hey, Jordan. Hey, Jordan.
Yeah.
Josh Sapp.
Personal foul.
Josh Sapp.
Face mask.
Yep.
Defense, number one. That 15-yard
He's a
penalty.
tight end.
Added to the end of the run.
6'1", 235.
Second-round draft pick by the Chargers.
That probably has never happened before.
You
It
think
never will.
you think you could have gone and played linebacker?
No.
How about that?
I could take a hit and could never deliver one. That is wild.
That's impressive. Talks about his athleticism as well.
Shut down. Look at that D-line, man. Look at that D-line. Rising up.
Loss of one.
Now we're starting to look like a doggone football team, man.
Running clock.
He's got to definitely go for twos.
Now we're starting to look like a crew right now.
So Coach, I love that. Right there.
Okay, Christopher.
Insight into what your mind goes through.
So he's a deep ball thrower.
Obviously, this is running clock.
That's who this
different,
dude is.
But you already began thinking about going for two, making it a one-score game. When are you usually thinking about that?
Nice. Good screen. Block. Open up those gaps.
We're
Ooh.
going to get a bad penalty right there by Shelton Lewis. That's a dumb penalty.
Dumb penalty. Yep. Threw him into the out-of-bounds area.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 2 defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Great point, though. It would have been, what, a 2-yard gain, maybe? Minimal gain. Instead, now they're going to get a first down. Move the sticks inside the 15 to 10-yard
Half the
line.
distance to the goal, automatic first down.
What was the question?
Don't worry about it. I like the fact that you went right up to that player and said that was a dumb penalty.
Yeah, you can't be emotional, man. You got to channel that into production and just playing within the whistle. It's just a bad play.
The run up the middle.
Good run.
Understand the situation. We're talking about the clock, I think, but this first half. Those are things that until you get into that latter part of the second quarter, you're always thinking, just playing within the kind of normal deal. We're gonna kick the extra point or whatever. There might be certain situations where, it calls for two, maybe there's a penalty or something like that. But second half, you know the score. You're thinking ahead. Both ways. Not just offensively, you're going for two, but their team's gonna go for two. Those are things you gotta process. Okay.
No.
Interception.
Pick. Good awareness by that corner.
24 can't let that get intercepted.
Well, we heard from Shaq Lawson earlier. That was Jaheim Lawson right there.
Jaheim Lawson,
Shaq said
okay.
Jaheim can play. That was a nice play.
That's such a good job, working from a defensive end spot to carry the wheel route, running back out of the backfield. Turn around, watch this.
6'2", 240. He's a defensive end.
DB struggle with that. That man is 6'2", 240 pounds, and he just made a turn, loose hips, and picked out a
Oh.
He grow up, and he played wide out for a long time. He tried to live the dream.
Oh.
Before finally he realized
We got something in this dude, man.
What a play.
I like that.
Natural ball skills, a really good
He is
basketball
physical.
player. You saw that right there.
You're going to love to watch that one back on tape because he scrapes and he starts running with the running back, but then he turns his hips and his
Oh, they're
eyes
gonna
at the
have
same
fun
time and
watching
high-post
that, you
football
know,
like
on
a
the
DB.
tapes on Monday,
That was
man,
unreal.
and using
Man, it's
that.
fun to see these kids compete, man. I love it. Oh, taking a
Let's
shot.
see it.
Yes.
Let's see it.
Down
Let's
the
see
field,
it.
open
shot.
receiver.
Oh!
He's got him. Randall.
Oh, I love it. That's the young safety that bit right there. Colin Webb. Young safety.
Well, I love the play design, too.
Randall.
Activating the red zone,
Okay.
Moving the pocket a little bit. Moving the pocket with Klubnik, and then just a great ball
Randall
over
with
top
the pick.
to Randall.
Tell you what, Adams,
You love to see the competitiveness right now. This is good.
55, yep, there was a flag on the play. As the ball comes near side, there's the
No.
drop. Wesco.
No, that was a completed pass. My bad. My bad. My bad.
The clock still runs.
Somebody had to be offside right there.
Offside. Defense number 8.
I couldn't tell, man. That was a contested ball right there.
Still first down.
It'll be first down, end of the third quarter, though. We are already headed towards the fourth.
That's the end of the
24
third quarter.
to 12. Orange on top of the white here in the 2024 Clemson spring game. Jamal Anderson, a pick 6. How about Trent Pierman? He's playing quarterback for both teams. Stiff arms. It's an opportunity to make a name for yourself in the spring.
A lot of big names out there right now.
I'm just a stunt guy.
All right, so let's kind of talk real quick about Debo's statements. You have to be a team of consistency in order to reach the top. You have to want to put in the work. You have to want to put in the effort. You know, it's all the stuff I've been preaching to the Panthers management here. You know, and to the players. You know, you gotta want this. And with all the things that Dabo has done to create that kind of consistency, year after year after year after year, and it's exactly what he said. You lose a national championship and you say, that's it? You know? And didn't we just have that feeling when we lost the Super Bowl in 2015 where, like, that's it? You know? And that's what I want this organization to remember, that feeling and just that hunger when they go into this season. You know, and into 2025. I want them to really think about it. Let that sink in. All that time, all that effort that you put into practices, spring training, you know, OTAs, training camp, all of this. It culminates into Sunday. And if you are not hungry on that field and you are not creating competition, it shows. It will show up in training camp. I promise you it will. But if you are showing that hunger, that will also show up. So if you're one of those players that is fighting for a spot on this roster and trying to move up, there's your opportunity. Take that hunger. Take that motivation and put it into production on the field, like Dabo was just saying there. There's just so many nuggets of wisdom out of what he just talked about for the past 5 minutes there that I want the Panthers management to take notes on, and the players as well. You know, use that knowledge, man. I'm telling you. Because it can benefit you. And there's pieces of knowledge from all kinds of coaches across the country as well that you could take knowledge from too. You know, if you're a player and you came from maybe Auburn or Alabama, maybe Nick Saban taught you something, you know, that you could use. Take that with you. You know what I'm saying? Take that with you. Because these players have been to the top of the mountain several times, over and over and over again. And they've seen what it takes to get there. They've seen the work it takes to get there. So, That's what I kind of want to take away from that.
Just moments ago before the end of the third quarter, 55 yards, dropped it in perfectly, and now he finds Strecco again. And
nice. I see something here.
We're going to have a red zone opportunity.
And with that running clock here in the fourth quarter,
okay, Cade.
Is trying to put the nail in the coffin here.
Okay, Cade.
An 18-yard completion.
They're working with Cade again.
Done this shit for 30 years. 30 years.
Doesn't matter when it is, always moments to teach. Klubnik taking the shot to the end zone, and that is nearly intercepted. That was dangerous.
Fegan there.
Yeah, Taboy Fegan again.
The true freshman there in great position. Nowhere to put that
okay,
ball.
I love the tempo, but he's going a little too fast. Just a hair too fast to where he's making mistakes. So, Cade, you got to slow it down just a hair, man. Think.
Second down and 10 coming up again. Running clock.
All right, let's see it. Let's see what he learned.
2 minutes of this fourth quarter.
I think he knows it, too.
Klubnik with time.
Oh, boy.
Coverage.
Double coverage.
Okay, so speak to me as a quarterback. Whenever we hear throws in a double coverage, why?
Well, he was starting to the right first, looking for his tight end, Pat Henry, on a corner out to the right. It wasn't there, so he moves backside to an over route with a vertical.
You got protection, Cade. Focus on the wide receivers.
Your eyes weren't there. So you didn't see him until right before you're throwing that football. So that's either got to be out a little bit earlier or you just eat that one. Tough when you're going from one
These
side.
These guys are blocking for you. Focus.
And it's zone on that side. There's always going to be guys that are watching you, waiting for you, that you haven't seen until, bam, right now, and you're trying to let the ball go.
Klubnik stepping up, throws low. Nice short hop play, but that's incomplete. And Klubnik coming up hobbling just a bit. Jackson Crosby.
Oh boy, he's hobbling.
Now hobbling off the field again. What you don't want to see is any injuries.
Did he get stepped on?
No, he didn't get stepped on. It was his footwork. It was his footwork. He turned his ankle.
So Klubnik
a little bit.
Out,
and it was an awkward angle when he was throwing it. It was kind of like a sideways motion, almost.
And that kick is going to sail wide right.
Uh-oh.
So 24-12, the Orange team.
Okay, am I going to have to be concerned about the kicking game now, too?
With 11:15 to go.
Come on, now. If you can't make kicks like that, we gonna have a problem.
Ready?
Showtime.
If you can't make kicks like that, how are you gonna make a 60-yarder when it's clutch time, man? And you got a coach freezing you, man, on the other side. You gotta make those. Yeah, there's a few concerns there. There's a few. I see something there in Trent, man. I do. I saw a little bit of Deshaun Watson in this dude, man. And that's very encouraging. Because if we can develop that and nurture that, there's definitely something there. So once he eventually gets groomed enough to take over that starter role, he's going to be looking smooth, man. One thing I'd like to see from him is discipline in the pocket. You know, be aware. You know, be aware of where these guys are supposed to be, because that's one of those things that when you first start out as a freshman or a sophomore, you're more concerned with technique than anything else because they're grooming you up. So you're going to see a lot of miscommunications. So you have to be aware of where these guys are, not only with your technique, but where these guys are. And as you get better and better, you focus more on technique and less on that.
And coaching up.
Yeah, and you know what? One thing I've really been impressed with is he knows every single player's name and number right away. As soon as somebody makes a play, he's been calling out their name and number and pronouncing their names correctly. Coach, I'm impressed with that. I mean, it just shows the love that you have for your players.
Also shows I'm from the smartest state, Alabama. 4 A's and a B.
4 A's and a B. Where's the B in?
Yeah, I don't know. Geography.
Ooh!
Oh, nice hit over the middle right there. Yeah.
Good hit. Jamal Anderson is something, man.
I love to see it, too.
Keep an eye on this dude, man.
Second interception wiped off because of offsides, I believe. Otherwise, he'd have 2. Yep. Had the pick 6 earlier.
I like this dude.
But also going back to that, you were a walk-on yourself.
He's having a good day.
How much do the walk-ons mean to you?
Oh, I love these guys, man. You don't know who's a walk-on here and who's not at Clemson. I mean, it's...
You really can't tell. He's telling the truth there.
You're standing there and watch him write the check to the tuition office. You don't know. These kids, we love them all, man. They're all part of it. And that's the culture we have. And
that's a run stop.
To see all across the board.
Good job, D-line.
You really... And we value these guys. They're very, very important.
They're pushing that running back room, man. I like that.
Last year.
They're testing them.
We've had starters become that started as walk-ons. We've had a lot of great.
They're almost daring them to run sweeps at this point because they've shut down so many of these sweeps.
Scholarship player or a walk-on. These are young men that have dreams and goals and aspirations, and they all have the same opportunities here at Clemson, regardless of who they are.
I'm going to throw out a question to you. It might be tough, but obviously you've had tremendous success here at Clemson. What are you most proud of what you've accomplished here?
Well, I've had 368 seniors and 362 graduates. We just had the highest graduation success rate this year, anybody in 20 years. 12 years in a row.
Let's go. Brilliant people coming out of Clemson, man.
The only school, 133 schools that can say that.
That's awesome.
So,
nice. Good play, 44. Good play. Good play.
I think what I do best is
who we got here? Banks
maybe
Pope.
3 boys. I've raised 3, and for 30 years I've been doing life with
Banks
18
Pope.
to 23-year-olds, and that's my passion. And my purpose is very simple: glorify God, be a great husband.
6'4", 240.
Platform of education
Junior.
and football. Not just football, education and football, to build transformational leaders that hopefully over the next 30 plus years, man, are going to do amazing things out in society and be great husbands and fathers. That's what wakes me up every day. That's what I'm passionate about. And honestly, that's how we run the program. And, what's best for the 30-year-old version of this kid, and that's how I make decisions. And as long as we continue to do that, hey, good Lord will work all the rest of it out.
Hey, and let's not forget, you raising those 3 boys who are also holders for Clemson. It has been a Sweeney holding on kicks.
That wasn't the best idea there.
Whether it's Will, Drew, or now Clay, that's unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is. Can't take any credit for that. I mean, Will's middle school coaches, 7th grade, came home and said, hey, how practice goes?
Come on, Trent.
He said, they're good. Great, he's a good little receiver. He says, I'm going to hold, too. I went, hold? Y'all kick field goals? I didn't know they kicked
Trent
field goals.
seems a little jumpy. He seems like he's run first and then throw second.
He holds all through high school.
I don't know. Maybe that's just me. That's what I'm noticing.
And then by the time Clay comes along,
nice throw.
Expected, and they all got great hands, and they're really skilled, man. It's a skilled position, and they've taken a lot of pride, and they've done a great job. A lot of big moments that have happened You know, and it all has to work together.
Keep it rolling, Trent. Keep it rolling.
You know, they've gotten their job done at a high level of consistency, and it's one of those positions you don't really appreciate until they screw it up.
Coach, I got to say,
good footwork, good timing, good tempo.
Oh, yeah,
he's got a lot of reps on both sides.
I see a lot of potential in Trent here.
In the quick game, obviously we've seen him use his legs.
Yeah, no, he's a I say that all the time. He's a really good little player. And let's go, Rigby! He's a really good little player.
Good run, Rigby.
Like I said, two-time state champion.
Got 2 out of that.
Needed to get a little bigger and stronger. He's done that. But just really smart. Just a great feel for the game. He's just kind of got some of that stuff that's hard to coach. And that's why we wanted him to swing, so he would get a lot of reps today. It's also why I didn't go take another quarterback out of the portal, because we really like this kid, man. We think he can win for us.
Here he is taking the shot to the end zone.
Good pass.
Incomplete.
Good pass under pressure.
Man, how about this? That's a mid-year.
He just stood there and just like was ready, man.
This kid right here.
He knew that pressure was coming. He still launched it. Beautiful.
Jackson Crosby, the intended receiver. First time out taken.
That's what I need to see from you, Trent. Let's go, man.
Today.
Just efficient, right? It's been a lot of quick routes.
Dial up that pressure. Let's see it again.
Really only think of one.
Let's see it again. I want to see some accurate passes under pressure. You're in the red zone, 9 for 12. I need to see a little bit more. Let's go, Trent. Push yourself, man. Push yourself. Let's go, big dog. You got this. I'm rooting for this dude, man. I want to see him succeed.
On this, or the spread for the orange and white.
Yeah, he could have made some money today.
Pearman with a shovel pass.
Nice. Good call.
Crosby.
Good call, Trent.
He's going to have enough for the first down. Again, you move this.
He read that, man.
The 2-minute warning. We'll go normal clock.
2-minute warning? Okay.
Cade Klubnik got the ankle wrapped up. He's all right. Got to imagine his day's probably done now.
Yeah, I did not see enough from Cade today, man. That's a concern. Okay, D-line matching him. D-line matching him on the run. Very good. Very healthy right there. Yes. 19.
Coach,
19 waiting away. All right.
What's on the line here?
Let's see what we got.
Steak dinner, winners get anything special?
Keith Adams Jr.
Accountability points
on the white roster.
That's a
okay.
big deal, man. Accountability points, that's like gold. So the winning team gets 3 points.
Maybe I read that number wrong.
They
Is he?
fight for those.
2-minute warning, and they're going to say, keep it going.
Keep playing.
Yeah. So,
yep,
Coach,
keep
just
playing.
want to get your take on what you've seen so far today and what you take away from today.
Well, you know, you got a little mix and matching and team split and all that stuff, but
okay.
First of all, I'm proud of how we threw.
Good read. Good read. He didn't see anybody, so he just took off and got a few yards out of it.
So good to see him kind of finish on a good note. Good to see Cade do some stuff.
I like those interior offensive linemen.
And then Trent did exactly what I hoped.
The center and the guards that we got on the orange team there. If they're not starting, I suggest we bump them up.
Sammy Brown gets a sack. Jamal Anderson, a kid that we're counting on, and good to see him make a play.
Because I think they're actually better than the white teams, guys.
So got some young linemen that did some good stuff, and got some other stuff they'll see on tape that's got to make them better. Got to see our kickers kick a little bit.
Yeah, the tackles are the concern right now. On both sides.
Making a big play right there at the end.
They're looking a little bit better on this orange team right at the moment. You know, in the second half.
Oh boy.
Collision.
There's a hesitation again.
Jaheim Lawson, AJ Hoffler as well. That's
Yeah,
made some
you
plays.
see Jaheim Lawson, A.J. Hoffler, Den Hoff. Just some of these guys that, we don't have Peter Woods out here today. We limited T.J. Parker a little bit. So for these guys to step up and take advantage of their opportunity, I think another guy you didn't really see much today as far as maybe showing up, but a kid like Brandon Strozier. I had my eyes on him a lot today. He's a young corner that we're going to need. And, again, biggest thing is get through this thing healthy, but you got to play. You don't get better football.
Strozier, huh?
So for them to be able to come out here and get exposed a little bit. How about Wesco? I thought same thing. Looked like he was breathing a little heavy to start it off, but he came out here and then he settled down, made a couple of nice plays for us. So it's been a productive spring. Now we just gotta get better.
Quinn Kastner with that 28-yard field goal. 27-12 with 1:29 to go. Yeah, you mentioned, breathing heavy early on for Bryant Wesco Jr., that true freshman. It leads you back to thinking about last year's 4-4 start with Cade Klubnik and how the game was moving quickly, and then it slowed down those last 5 games for him.
Yeah, and I thought Coach said something, the best way I've seen it put or heard it put. He said, look, Cade had a lot to take care of in his own house last year, right? I mean, just developing new offense in adversity. And he said, this year, he's going to go help out the neighbors a little bit more. So having some young receivers be able to make checks at the line of scrimmage, like Garrett Riley mentioned, making a lot more checks, making us right more often pre-snap now than he was early last year. Things like that just continue to build on themselves.
Yeah, there's no doubt. He had a lot to do. And if you look at the best quarterbacks in the country last year, they were all guys with some experience. And here's a kid that, man, he's going to get better and better and better. And I promise you, when his time is up at Clemson, this kid's going to make some big-time plays, and he's going to have a bunch of big-time wins. And I can't wait to watch it. And we're really, really committed to CB and Trent as well. We got Paul Tyson. He's still here. He's kind of a student coach for us, but he's kind of our 4th guy right now. We like our guys. We feel like we're in position to go compete. It's fun to see a guy get better at that position. It's totally a developmental game. I've seen that.
Is he getting better though? I got questions, Cade.
Because it's not just it all has to work together.
Because I've seen 2 spring practices of him now.
A lot of work to do this summer.
Last year and this year now. And I mean,
Coach, I gotta give you a ton of credit. First of all,
the stats don't reflect that under pressure though.
I will love to work with you anytime you want. But secondly,
I'm just not feeling it with Cade. Like, once he gets into regular season games, he's okay. But there's a lot of high-pressure situations where you got some strong pressure defensive linemen that will force him to throw that ball where he doesn't want to throw it.
Listen, credit goes to these players.
Yeah, there's a good example of it right there. 3rd and 4.
It's been fun to do it,
and that was Visney. So, but you expect that out of a 3rd-string quarterback. You should not be expecting that out of Cade, that's been here for 2 to 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something we gotta tighten up on. And
what do we do after commentating the game? Y'all go out for a glass of wine or beer? Or what do y'all do?
It all depends. Do we have a flight to make? Do we have an opportunity to stay the night and then we can go have some fun, a good steak dinner? There's some great options.
All right, y'all let me know how it goes. Enjoy being with y'all.
Hey, we really enjoyed having you, Coach. You're awesome.
Thanks for coming to Clemson and helping us out. Appreciate it very much.
Appreciate it, Coach. We'll be back.
Take care.
Yes, absolutely.
Love what they're showing. He's showing that love towards the media people, and just.
That's great. I just love. Part of what I love is great when he's talking. I love hearing the coaching, though. You know what I mean? When the microphone was down, just hearing him, he never turns it off. Right? right? He was balancing storytelling and giving info on guys with just coaching, what he loves to do. You can tell the passion's there. And I tell you what, it was a young team last year. They got a lot of experience and got better at the end of the year. This is going to be a really good football team when fall comes around. When August 31st comes around.
Yeah,
in Atlanta against Georgia, this is going to be a different football team, and I'm excited for these Clemson fans.
Really cool for the fans.
We're going to
also
need
come down onto the field and
to focus on a handful of things, but I think there's a lot of potential there.
Well, like you mentioned, Clemson will open up the 24 season against the Georgia Bulldogs at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia on August 31st. Check your local listings for time and network. For Jordan Rogers, Dabo Sweeney, and our
Okay, so that
crew,
was
I'm
a
Justin Kutcher
completed
saying
deep
so
pass.
long
Gotcha.
from Clemson.
Gotcha. Alright, so great broadcast there. Loved it. We're going to kind of go through a couple of highlighted players and then people that I think would be a good potential candidate later on to keep an eye on during the regular season. It's worth watching these guys during these scrimmages, no matter what scrimmage it is, whether it be Georgia, whether it be LSU, whether it be Clemson, South Carolina, it doesn't matter. These guys are worth keeping an eye on, because they are potential draft picks at some point down the line. For somebody, even if it's not us, somebody. Such as Will Shipley. They were just interviewing him when I first started the stream. I thought that was really interesting to note that there are a lot of good players in the last 7 years that have entered the draft from Clemson. They mentioned 25, I think it was. It wasn't Ricardo. It was let's see. Well, Jack. Who was it? It was a defensive guy that they were just pointing out. I gotta find his name. That's why I take these notes, guys, because I like to pay attention to people that could be potential draft picks. Yeah, there he is. There he is, Jamal Anderson, 32. I want y'all to keep an eye on Jamal Anderson. I see something there, man. 6'2", 215. He's a little undersized right now. But, again, he's still a sophomore. Once he bulks up and once he starts making some plays, he's going to be well known. And that could be a potential defensive weapon for somebody down the road. I liked what I saw right there. There was a defensive end in particular that made a really good play on the ball. It was Barnes. Khalil Barnes. Khalil Barnes is one of those guys I want to keep my eyes on. Wish I could have been part of that 50,000 people today, man. But, how it is. We had Dexter Lawrence, Wayne Gallman in the house. And this is what I was talking about with Cade. 18 for 33 and 190 yards. This is exactly what I'm talking about. It's consistency under pressure. That's what we're trying to fix. Still even into year 2 of Cade as a starter. I think it's there. I really, really do think it's there. But we still have some work to do, guys. That was not a good day for Cade. He carried the ball 14 times for 63 yards and a touchdown. Dominic Thomas, taking care of business out there. But, you can only use Dominique and these screen passes only so much before they start taking advantage of you and start seeing opportunities to shut that down. And then you got these little wheel routes and stuff like that. They shut those down too. The defense is like, the D-line was just like, okay, what else do you have? And K was just like, I got nothing. So they start bringing pressure up the middle, and you're smoked, bro. You're cooked. So I'm saying, like, what are you gonna do about that, Cade? Because this is the second spring game I've seen that. It is causing me a little bit of a concern with this dude. That's what's going to drop your draft stock. Instead of looking at like a third round pick, for this dude later on, once he completes his school year, and goes into the draft, now you're looking at a 4th, 5th, 6th, possibly, because of the fact that he can't handle pressure. Okay, if you can't handle pressure at this level in college, how are you going to handle that level of pressure once you get to the NFL, which is dialed up times 50? Because these pass rushers are no joke in the NFL. They are no joke. They're only getting stronger every year. And the college guys are ramping it up too. So with the pass rushers and the linebackers that are going into the NFL that are getting stronger each year, you're seeing them in their respective systems giving you trouble in the college level. Once they get the proper training and development that they need on an NFL roster, they dial that up times 50. You're smoked. You're smoked, bro. You're cooked. You're not going to last. That's a practice squad quarterback at best once you get up there. So, I got concerns, Cade. I got concerns, bro. We're good enough to get through like 9 or 10 games, but I mean, during the bigger games when we had overtime, did you deliver though? We weren't protecting the ball. We were doing little small things wrong in Clemson, and that's what cost us a playoff trip. And I'm sitting there like, okay, Cade. When Dabo's been saying, oh, he's been getting better, but in the back of his brain, I bet you he's just going, did he though? Somehow I feel like I might eat my words on that. If I'm Dabo. But, hey. Not all coaches are perfect. They do make mistakes. Even during the analytical stage. But, I'll tell you the bright spots, though. Trent looks like the next leader of this offense. He looks like the potential next leader. I'm willing to go throughout this season with Cade right now as a Clemson fan and say, okay, we can confidently get 9 or 10 wins, in the college schedule. But if Cade starts to drop off, man, I don't know. Is Trent ready for that, though? He was starting to show a lot of signs that he was. I mean, those were 3 solid drives I've seen from Trent that I was very, very impressed with. So it's kind of a cat and mouse game at quarterback right now. Like, okay, yeah, I get it. This guy's a sophomore. This guy's just coming in. I get it. But at the same time, some of these guys are able to adjust to this system better than others that you bring in. But that's the recruiting. If you recruit well and you recognize, okay, these guys might be good potential fits for this system that we have in Clemson, the RPO. Okay, you've already run 15 or 20 of these plays in high school. Okay, can you do like 50 of these to 100 of these plays at the college level? In the same system. And then once you get up to the NFL, you may not even be playing the RPO system, depending on where you're drafted. Some of these teams draft the wrong quarterbacks into their systems, and you don't know. It stunts their growth. Once you've gone through the college process. But there's certain players on that defense that I think really stood out today. The defensive line in particular looks strong. Very strong against the run game. That's very encouraging. I want to see that. Because we have had a history of stopping the run very successfully in the past 7 to 8 years, under Venable's system. And now under the system of the new defensive coordinator that was training directly under Venables. So I'm very encouraged to see that. And it's that type of aggressive defense that you saw today, if you were watching ACC Network or even just watching the stats, that Venables used times 50 in his system. I mean, these guys were aggressive under Venables. We had to dial it back during spring games for a few years. And because we wanted to see, okay, we were in a good position to do so, where we could choose, okay, let's dial back the pressure a little bit. Let's ramp up the pressure here. Let's see if we can challenge these quarterbacks. Let's see if we can challenge these offensive linemen. And at times, okay, that was too much pressure. Let's back off a little. Let's see if these offensive linemen can adjust. Because in game time situations, it can go from heavy pressure back to average pressure at any given time. So I kind of like that ability to adjust when Venables was here. And it created a lot of competition. These players were energized, man. They wanted to come out there and play for him. And that's one of the biggest things is when players believe in a coach or a coordinator, they will come out there and they will ball out for you. Like they did for Sean McDermott back in the day. Our Panthers players. And like they're doing for Ajaro right now. They're balling out for him. you know. But even despite all our weaknesses, they still balled out. Steve Wilkes, same thing. You know, you saw flashes of it. So for a guy like Brent Venables, man, I would love to have this dude up in the NFL as one of our coaching assistants, man. Because this dude would be an excellent defensive coordinator one day for us. Excellent. You know, he's doing well in Oklahoma right now. And good for him, man. Good for him. You know, you love to see it, like 9 wins. Excellent, man, in his first 2 years. In a tough conference. You know, you got Texas, you got all those other teams in that conference. So good, man. But yeah, very strong D line this year. Very encouraging to see that, because I'm measuring that against what we were running with the playoff teams when we were on that run. When we had a standard for how good these guys were supposed to be. You know, you had a bar that you had to reach, and every single one of these classes reached that bar. And it just went up and up and up. Eventually, you're not going to reach that bar because it's so far up there, it's in the stratosphere. Because these guys keep getting better every year. But, you know, and that's to be expected. When you've got a consistently good team like Clemson has. And perhaps Georgia as well. They have that same strategy and mindset. So, and that's why they've been winning national championships lately. Because they've been following that same formula. And that's great, man. You know, the players have been strong and competitive and consistent. You know, the main thing is consistent. And a lot of what you heard today from Dabo was just saying, okay, well, not only do I have great players, I'm coaching these guys up to be great men. You know, these people will go out into society, not just onto the football field, and be great people. And I've been saying that for years. You know, not only are we graduating great football players, but we're graduating people that have GPAs of 4.0, you know, that are not getting watered down in their studies, that are actually out there earning their degrees. You know how I know that? Is because I actually went over to Clemson and I asked some of the people over there when I was applying to colleges back in, 13, 14, 15? And I asked them, okay, what courses do you have? You know, and they explained to me in detail, okay, this is what we do, this is what we teach, here's a little bit of the textbooks that we use, you know, and it was very detailed stuff. I was very impressed. You know, you earned your degree at Clemson. There is no question about that. So, I don't want to hear this riffraff about, okay, well, they just use the course catalogs and water them down so that these players can get, like, great grades and look great, you know, for graduation. No, that's not the case at all. Not here. Not in the Clemson town, man. These guys earned every one of those degrees. Every one of them. So, I'm wearing my national championship shirt right now. This is the 2016 national shirt. Natty shirt, so there you go. I got a 2018 one sitting around here too. And I also have a signed shirt signed by Dabo. I got to meet him and thank him personally for what he's been doing here, man. For my university, man, my favorite university. Because I was a fan before Dabo came along. I was a fan in the Tommy Bowden days, and I got to tell you, man, it took guts to be a fan during the Tommy Bowden days. It took guts, y'all. We got into some close games back in the Tommy Bowden days. And it wasn't until I saw Dabo take over in Clemson that I got so much more involved with the football team than I ever thought I would be. I just fell in love with it after that point, you know. But yeah, I got a chance to thank him personally for what he's been doing for Clemson, and I'm just so grateful for that opportunity to meet such a humble, kind gentleman, you know, and a great leader of men. It's such a rewarding experience being a fan for so long and getting that chance, you know, is 1 in 1 million, you know. I got lucky that day, so but Dabo said some very, very interesting things as far as like how he got to where he is, as far as his consistency and how his coaching has led the program to where it is. And I kind of wanted to touch on a couple of those things because that's leadership right there. That's stuff that I think that this coaching staff in Charlotte could take notes on and learn. You know, use that information to drive us forward as a franchise. And one of those things is consistency. I've been preaching about that. You got to consistently put in the work. You got to consistently push yourself. You got to consistently be smart and intelligent in what you do, whatever that might be on the field. Whether you're a wide receiver, whether you're a defensive end, whatever you might be, you know, be intelligent. You know, look for little ways to improve. Even if you're doing great, look for ways to improve. Because football, like so many other things in life, is a game of improvement. If you're not hungry for improvement, you're going to fall behind. Constantly. And it's the same way in the business world. So, my whole thing is, he talked about the intelligence of these players. He talked about what it took to get those championships and what it took to get up as high as they were. And he treated it just like another game. That was one of the main points I wanted to focus on, was that right there. Because the Panthers, we focus on the weather, we focus on what players on the team that we're facing up against, matchups, this, that, and the third, you know, on game day. But when it comes down to it, it's just another game. And that's how Dabo approached it. That's how he's been approaching it for the past 10 years. And I thought, no, wait a minute. There's some wisdom in that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some wisdom in that. Because if you're treating it just like another game, okay, then you should be able to be competitive in said game. If you've got the players and you've got the talent. Like Dave Canales said, if we believe in ourselves enough and we've got the talent, we can be competitive in any game. And now I'm starting to really put the two pieces together on what Dave was saying when he said that comment. After watching Dabo Sweeney in this spring game and said, now hold up, he's got a point. Because I dismissed it at first. Now I'm walking that one back. Because there's something there. Because you watch Dabo Swinney's formula. You watch Nick Saban's formula. You watch the Georgia head coach's formula. I forget his name offhand. But you watch these guys' formulas, and year after year after year after year, they're able to generate consistency and wins by just treating it like another game. And I'm thinking, okay, what if we translated that to our Panthers team in the NFL? What if we said, okay, yeah, it's Green Bay, okay, it's just another game. What if we said, okay, it's KC, it's just another game. Yeah, we're going to get blown out by KC, but at least we put up a decent fight. You know what I mean? We put up 110% effort, for whatever we do. And that's what matters. We can at least show that we are not a raw piece of meat in the jungle. You know what I mean? With all these predators around that are hungry for wins. And easy wins at that. So, for a handful of years, we looked like that raw piece of meat in the jungle. We were bait, bro. We were feeding the beasts. And it's time to stop feeding the beast and become the beast. You know what I'm saying? This is how we do it. We start taking these little learning opportunities right here, and we start using that knowledge to build up our franchise and say, okay, here's our formula, here's what we're going to do, here's our standard, and let's not deviate. We have a chance to build that right now. And Dave is doing that right now. And saying, okay, our standard is, let's go out there, let's treat this like a game. Another game out there. Let's go out there, let's be competitive. Let's be dogs. And I like that. Because that's worked for so many successful teams. In college and in the NFL. Each team has their own way of doing things, and it works for them, that's been successful. But the one thing you see on a consistent basis is, okay, is my team competitive? Are they staying in games? Are they able to adjust? Are they able to fight up to the final whistle? Are they able to push themselves further than they were and be a little bit better than they were yesterday? Are they willing to y'all get where I'm going with this? I mean, those are just the simple questions you start asking, to see if your team is competitive enough to handle these situations and handle what you're dealing with. All right, so let's take that and let's learn from it. Let's set our standard. Let's do what we do. And I love Dave Canales for that right there. Because he's doing all the right things right now. He was successful with Baker where we couldn't have been. because we didn't know what we were doing with Baker. You know, he was successful building a roster, whereas we had no clue what we were doing when we were building a roster. He was successful at coaching these guys and teaching these guys. Every moment is a teaching opportunity. You heard that from the ACC booth guy there. I like that because he's absolutely right. Every moment is a teaching opportunity. So, alright, when you start putting all these pieces together, you're going to find success. Yeah, you're going to have weaknesses like you saw today out of this Clemson team that I'm looking at right now. But you had guys like Nate Wiggins. You had guys like Trotter Jr. on that defense. You know, that were such a massive part of why they were so successful. And that's recruiting. That's development. That's character development too. That's bringing these guys to be to the mature level where they become great men when they come out of that college. Not just football players, but men. Disciplined. Self-disciplined. And smart. And that's what I want our coaching staff to work with these guys at the NFL level, because these guys are men that are coming in here, man. Some of them need a little bit more character development than others. But for those that are doing what they should be doing, it's like, okay, are you coachable? You know, that's what I'm alluding to there. Are you coachable? And if you're coachable, a lot of good things can happen. If you are a player, right? So, my whole thing is, when I looked at this Clemson team today, I was looking at all kinds of things. All the usual things that you would expect me to look for. I was looking for development. I was looking for, okay, can you show consistency? Can you show tempo? Can you show our standard? Our Clemson standard that we have put up for 7+ years now under Dabo Swinney. And I'm well aware of what that standard is after watching it year after year after year after year on the field. So I know what to look for. We demand excellence, but we also ask for it too. We also ask that these players push themselves, you know, to the excellence level that they're at. That's who Clemson is. And there's a certain energy when you watch these Clemson games that you expect. That back in the Tommy Bowden days, you did not see that or feel that energy at all. It was kind of a nervous energy with Tommy Bowden times. It was kind of a, okay, we know we've got enough talent. Can we handle it? Can we win this game? I don't know. You know? But under Dabo Swinney, you expect to win. You expect to do well. You expect to excel in what you do. Because this coaching staff knows how to bring the best out of these guys. And that's why we've had so many successful players go into the NFL. year after year after year consistently. You know, same with Bama, same with Georgia. You know what to expect out of these guys. And not a lot of colleges can say that they know how to put out guys like this into the NFL draft. So when I'm looking at potential candidates that could be developed into those next generation NFL stars, I'm looking at guys like the man that got that 22-yard interception return right there. I'm looking at Khalil Barnes. I'm looking at, you know, a guy like Trent. I'm looking for the defensive end that made that play in the end zone. You know, little things like that, little plays like that, that are bigger and better than the average defensive end, bigger and better than the average wide receiver, bigger and better than the average quarterback. You know, just a little hair more that look like they have the potential to be something bigger on a more consistent basis. You know, with our coaching staff. That's the little things that Dabo is looking for too. Because that's stuff you can't teach. When your body is moving around like that, that's something that's not teachable. Like that defensive end did. There's certain things that these coaching staff people can take that and build off that. And turn these guys into NFL weapons. So, I'm just seeing something here, man. This was last year's group right here that did all this. I wanted to point that out. So, for today's group, let's see what we got here. But those were Cade's numbers last year. That's why I was concerned. That's why I pointed those out. Today, Hunter Helms greatly overvalued Cade Mays throwing here. You didn't even see him on the list. Because he never really threw a pass. That's the problem. Notice we had 3 sacks. But the bigger danger here is how many pass rush opportunities and pressures that we gave up. You know, during the time that Visna was on the field and Cade was on the field. But Hunter Helms says, okay, I got you. 8 for 18, 112 yards. I might not have got a sack. I might not have got that touchdown last year. But I'll tell you this. It's better than Visna. Alright, so 2024 stats. That's what we're looking for right now. Let's see the growth and development of these guys. Because I watched these guys last year. Now I want to see the development. I want to see the stats. There we go. Are they going to let us see it? Are they going to let us take a look at it? I guess not. We can look at the depth chart, I suppose. But this site is buggy, man. Printable, that's what I want. Okay, due to technical difficulties, they're not able to provide it. 2000 spring game? Okay, I don't care about 2000 spring game. Do you see how hard it is to find stuff, man? Clemson, fix your stuff, man. For real. I have had so many issues with trying to figure out when the spring game is these days. You know, when the stats are going to come out, where they're going to come out at. You know, and it's been a pain in the rear. I will say this for Clemson, though. They have fixed the advertising for the spring game. That got fixed. So I'm thankful for that. I was notified at least 5 days ahead of time. When normally I would not get notified at all. You have to Google search it constantly. Otherwise you're going to miss it. And it was such a pain in the rear, dude. Just to get that put on my calendar every year. So now they're having issues with the stats. Because I can't find them right now. This is what I want to see, but they're not showing it. They're saying the 2000 stats are not printable. Are not out there. I don't care about the 2000 stats. I want today's stats. We might have to wait on that, y'all. We might have to wait on it. At least we got the roster. I would very much like to know what these guys did, though. Oh, okay. There we go. Live stats. Live stats. Let's see if it's there. Are they going to allow us to see it? Okay, cool. Here we go. Let's see the development, guys, from last year. I showed you guys the stats from last year. Let's see the development. Now look at Cade. 13 for 26, 158 yards, 1 pick. Not great. That's not a huge improvement from last year. And remember how I was saying, okay, did he really improve though? Did he? Under pressure? These are the stats under pressure. And that D-line has not slowed down at all since last year. It's only gotten stronger. Which is what you expect. We went 6 for 14 on third down conversions. Ugh. Not great. Not great at all. But look at Trent. 10 for 13, 113 yards, and a touchdown. That's the numbers you expect to see out of a next potential starter right there. When you have a backup quarterback, that's what you want to see. That's encouraging. Because that says, okay, this is the next Deshaun Watson right here, skill set wise. Not necessarily personality wise, but skill set wise. Overall, good day for Trent. I'm very happy for him. We'll take a look at over here in a minute. But he continued to do that even over here as a white quarterback. 3 for 5, 28 yards. Is that catching percentage? I think that's catching percentage. Oh, completion percentage. 60. 77 over here. That's what you want to see. And this is not just screen passes. These aren't just willy-nilly, okay, let's throw a dump-off pass. No, Trent was slinging it. He had a few passes where he was slinging it, dude. And under pressure, he delivered the ball very quickly and accurately. Good, clean release. And quick release, too. Which is a staple of the Clemson offense. So I'm very happy to see that out of a potential quarterback right here. That tells me this is a potential leader right here. I caught on to that right away once I started watching him throw. His mechanics and his footwork look clean. I'm very happy with that. And I mean, if he can keep that up on a consistent basis in practices and whatever else they do in Clemson, this dude will develop very, very well into what you're looking for the standard of a Clemson quarterback. 6 for 29, 15 yards longest, Jarvis Green. I like Jarvis Green. I think there's something there with him too. Strecco, you heard Dabo talk about Strecco, 7 catches for 24 and a touchdown. That's somebody to keep an eye on. That's the next generation right there. That's the next generation. Rigby, you heard him get praised as well. So on the white side, you didn't really see these guys stand out. But what catches my eye is the 3 for 60 of Josh Sapp. You're looking for anomalies like that because that's what you're expecting out of the next generation core of Clemson wide receivers. You expect them to get those yards after the catch, And there's the catch percentages. Very, very good catch percentages from Josh Sapp here. 75%. 71%. 5 for 62. There's Antonio Williams. And we rotated in a lot of people, by the way. There's a lot of rotations. If you've ever watched a Clemson game, it gets crazy. It gets hard to keep up with who's in and who isn't. Unless you've been watching the entire game and you're like, okay, they're rotating this guy, they're rotating this guy. You got to watch the numbers. The numbers are the key to figure out who gets substituted in and who doesn't. Keep a roster handy if you ever plan on watching a Clemson game. Or an Alabama or Georgia game. That's how you'll be able to figure it out. But guys like this, Antonio Williams, 5 for 62, 71%. Those are the types of guys we're looking for the wide receiver core for Clemson this year. And those are the guys, once they start putting up regular season numbers, they will stand out. And it'll look like a D-Hop or a well, you get the idea. You get the idea. Mike Williams, back in the day. Or I'm trying to think what that other dude's name. T. Higgins. It'll look like a T. Higgins, in regular season numbers. So just to show you and give you an idea while we're looking at the offense, I want to show you T. Higgins' college numbers. Because I think it's worth looking at. So when you look at T. Higgins' numbers, these are the types of numbers you expect to see. You expect to see, 59 catches, 1,167 yards, and 13 touchdowns. Those are the guys we hold to the standard in Clemson. That's our standard right there. So when you go back and you look at the stats that we saw today, and these are the guys that go into the NFL draft very shortly after. Again, you're looking at Jarvis Green right here with rushing attack, 6 for 29. You're looking at for wide receivers, you're looking for an Antonio Williams here, 5 for 62, and a 71 completion percentage. We thrive on the completion percentage. Look how many targets these guys have. 5 for 7. And the quality guys will separate themselves from the rest. We only had one drop today, which is very encouraging out of this wide receiver core. Even though Cade was having a lot of trouble. 4 for 6, 67%. 3 for 4, 75%. Those are the guys that will separate themselves. That's what we're looking for. And that's how you get 271 yards out of the passing room. And that's just in the spring game. 136 on the white room. The rushing game did not look strong because the D-line was very, very strong today. And that's encouraging for the D-line. But I'd like to see a little bit more of a push from the running backs, though, as we go into the regular season. 21 first downs. The 6 for 14, most of that was Cade. And that's a concern right there. So we'd like to see that go up to the Clemson standard. 4 for 5 in the red zone. Most of that was Trent. Time of possession, 30 minutes. We didn't necessarily have too many turnovers today, but we still need to work on those. Those were interceptions. We had 14 tackles for loss. 7 on the other side. 9 sacks. You had 2 sacks on the other side. Okay. What this tells me is the second string sack players on the white team were not getting it done, which is typical. That's fine. But the pressures, and the tackles for loss, that's good. That's a healthy number right there. That's what I'm looking for. The sacks and pressures, that's an unhealthy number because that's overinflated. That tells me the tackles are not getting the job done. This is stuff I look at, and you can tell a story just by looking at the stats, but you can also tell us the other half of the story by watching the game. So, going into the analyticals here, man, It's a good thing we don't have any fumbles on either side. Very good. And in a typical game, we would not try to go for two in that situation that Dabo did go for two on. Typically, we would kick it and get those points. But we did leave a few points off the board because of the kicker, too. So, there is that, too. So, I don't really need... I don't really need the stats from last year to be able to make these comparisons because I've already seen them up close and personal last year. 8 penalties. Got to clean that up. Got to clean that up. Can't have face masks. Can't have holding. Can't have the pass interference stuff is typical. You know, that's typical of a spring game. You know, that stuff I can kind of overlook. An offside, maybe a false start. You know, that's typical of a spring game. I don't have any problem with those because you know those can get cleaned up before regular season. Not a problem. You know, and the spring game is the time to make those kind of mistakes. You know, get them out of your system. You know, this is practice before the real thing. You know, this is like preseason for Clemson. You know, if you don't watch college football, this is kind of like preseason. You know, you get out all your kinks, all your issues, your nuts and bolts out of the way before you ever get onto the field. Get all that rusted garbage out of your game, you know? I think it's very interesting watching both of these groups of players every year because you don't know what to expect. And look at the goose eggs for the white team during the third and fourth quarter. Yikes. That's what you don't want to see. You expect to see 27 on one side. You expect to see like 25 on the other side. You want it to be balanced. That's what I've been trying to tell people, you know, for the longest time. If you have that type of a score at the end of a spring game, and you've got a lot of stats to show for it, you know, during the time that you've been playing, that shows you have a balanced team, which is good. Then you start to look at each individual aspect, each little area, positionally, and try to correct it. Okay, so if the Panthers were to run a scrimmage today, the defense would overrun the offense without question. But we have definitely added some pieces on the offense to balance it out. So it could look something like that right there, that score right there, if we were to run a legitimate scrimmage like the spring game. And that's how I kind of... That's how I kind of scout things. So I kind of wanted you guys to have an idea. You know, and this was a great opportunity to do this with Dabo Swinney's commentary too. You know, that made all the difference too, because I wanted you guys to hear what he had to say, as opposed to just watching a typical Clemson spring game. It adds so much context when this dude is talking about certain players and how he gets things done. You know, and his strategies, his mindset. I wanted you guys to appreciate, you know, how he coaches and understand why he does the things he does. So, you know, as we further illustrate that, you know, you'll see the results on the field. If you're a visual learner, you'll see it on the field. You'll hear him talk to the players. You'll hear him coach these guys. You'll hear him teach these guys. And I wanted you guys to have those opportunities too, to watch that, because, or at least listen to it, because that's what I'd like to see more of in Charlotte. That's the type of coaching I want to see in Charlotte. And there's certain aspects you can take from all kinds of coaches, like Nick Saban, or name your favorite college coach. There's all kinds of quotes and teaching skills that you can take and use at the NFL level. But I think there's a lot to be said here, and that's why I wanted to do this. Because I saw an opportunity and I decided, oh hey, this is awesome. I'm not in Death Valley right now, and I'd like to take advantage of this and teach you guys and show you guys what we do. Hands on. That way, you can see the results of it, not just hear them, but see them. When you go back and watch the game on YouTube, because it will show up on YouTube, pair that up with my reactions. And just see what I'm seeing. Just look from a coach's eyes. Look from a guy's eyes that knows how to scout this stuff. I'm not a scout. I'm not anything else besides a guy behind a camera and a mic. But I do have a lot of knowledge on this stuff. I don't have any formal training. I'm just that naturally gifted to where I'm able to spot stuff like this stuff. And I'm not trying to showboat or do any of that stuff. I'm just saying, I've got those skills. I've developed them over time by watching and looking at the details. Piecing it together. Combining things. Using my brain. And with enough time, anybody can develop the ability to do this. So, but I'm putting it in practice every year. I'm exercising those muscle memory, And every time I watch the spring game, I'm exercising that. So let's take a look at the defense. Brandon Stozier. That's one of the guys Dabo highlighted. But look at the 4 tackles for loss by Green here, man. Look at the 4 tackles for loss. That's encouraging. That tells me this dude is going to be doing this late into the regular season. Right there. What's pass breakups? Okay. So we had a few pass breakups, mostly by defensive linemen. And again, that's where I'm going back to that concern of those offensive tackles, because they're not keeping these guys engaged in the first half. I call it the YMCA dance. If you're able to do the YMCA dance as a defensive end or a linebacker, where your hands are completely free, these tackles are not doing their job. Straight up, they're not doing their job. They're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. YMC, where they can pass break up, boom. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why I call it that. It makes sense though, right? It makes sense. And if you're able to anticipate what the offense is doing, you'll have stats like this. 2.5 tackles for losses. You'll have a lot of tackles for losses. Look at this. During a spring game. And that's Cade Kobiak relying too much on the running game and on the screen game. That's why I was trying to get him to get away from that. And he never did. Jaheim Lawson. That's the guy that caught my attention today. Lawson looked good today. 2 tackles for a loss, 1 interception, 1 sack, 2 solo tackles, and I mean the dude made a difference. He's a playmaker. Those are the guys that Dabo wants to keep a very, very close eye on and knows that they are going to get to that next level and says, okay, what can I do to develop you into that next level player and push you to that next level and push yourself to that point. You had Jamal Anderson. Jamal Anderson was that linebacker that was playing corner. He's a little undersized, so they put him back there as kind of a DB situation a little bit, and he flourished. That's the dude that I was telling you had the body twist at the corner of the end zone and deflected a ball. And I was like, wow. Because you don't expect that out of a big guy like that. It's Jamal Anderson. Let me look at this roster real quick. Jamal Anderson. What number is he again? He's 1. He ain't on here. Did they put him? Okay. They must have changed his number. Jaheim Lawson. There he is. There he is, number 15. You guys probably can't see it because it's so small. But, there you go. 6'2", 240. 6'2", 240. That's him right here. That's him right here. That's the dude that made the play. My bad. It's Lawson that made the play. But Anderson was a busy boy too. Let's see. 1 sack, 2 tackles for a loss, and an interception from Jaheim Lawson. Baller right here. Straight up baller. They list him as a defensive end, but he has that kind of speed and agility. Man. Keep an eye on that name right there. Jaheim Lawson. Y'all notice that name. Keep an eye on him. That dude's going to be a baller next year. And they list him as a sophomore. So he's got maybe 2 more years left in him in college. 6'2", 240. For a guy that's that size, that can move like that, develop that talent right there, that's the next NFL level defensive end right there. Are y'all starting to see what I'm spotting now? When I look at these rosters, when I look at these players on the field, are y'all starting to understand how I'm seeing this now? And when you go back and you watch that play, you'll see it. It'll be on his highlight tapes. You know, when he starts making plays during the regular season, he'll make plays like that when he gets out there on the field and he makes the most of his opportunities. Now, I remember a certain defensive end that we got through a London exchange system that made the most of his opportunities in Charlotte. That man's name was Effie Obata. Now, when you translate that to the NFL level, I'm looking for that next Effie Obata. I'm looking for that guy that's going to maximize his potential, his opportunities, and his potential. That's what I'm looking at when I watch these preseason games. That's why I keep telling people, watch every second of these preseason games. It is worth your time. If you want to learn how to scout these players better, if you want to understand how to do what I'm doing right now, watch these preseason games. I know they don't count. I know they don't matter. But in some ways, they do matter. Some ways they do matter because you might find the next Effie Obata. And you don't even realize it. Because you went in and made yourself a sandwich in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? Got yourself some iced tea. Got yourself some Bojangles. Got in the car and got some Bojangles. You know, during the fourth quarter. I didn't. I sat there and I watched the whole games. That's exactly why I do live reactions to all the preseason games and the NFL regular season games. Because I'm looking for this stuff, man. Constantly. You got a 90-man roster. That's what the coaches look for, too. So, there you go. Now you got kind of an insight onto how I do things and why I do things the way I do. And there's Clay Sweeney. That's Dabo Sweeney's son right there. 5'10", 175. He's a sophomore. Okay, so he was in Daniel High School. Okay, cool. Cool. But yeah. Wesco was another one they mentioned today. I mean, it's Rigby the running back. Devo loves Rigby, man. They got him out of Louisiana. Baton Rouge. So there you go, man. It could be people from anywhere, man. And these guys come in and they start balling out, man. You just never know, man. So you got to keep your eyes open constantly. Or you're going to miss it. Alright, that's about all I got for y'all. Would you like for me to do a mock draft or just call it here? I'm happy doing either one. By the way, big news. Derek Brown got his extension. Whoop, whoop. Let's go, Derek Brown. Let's go, Derek. Proud of you. You earned it. You earned it, big dog. You earned it. You put in that work. You put in that training, that time, that blood, that sweat, that tears. And you put that on the field, man, on Sundays. It's going to pay for you, man. It's going to pay off for you. I'm proud of you. Congrats, man. Congrats. I know I didn't do a stream yesterday about that, but, you know, I had some stuff going on, so I decided not to. But, big shout out to my big dog, Derek Brown, though, man. Yes, sir. You'll love to see it. What that means for us is now we turn our attention to Stephon Gilmore. we turned our attention to Gabe Jackson. Let's get him back in here. If you don't like Trey Turner, then go for Gabe Jackson, because Gabe Jackson actually did pretty well for us on the offensive line last year. But we've got to have Stephon Gilmore. We got to have him. It's either Gilmore or we draft a corner. One of those two options has to happen. We've got to seal up that corner room. So, I think Stephon may be on the fence here because he thinks that we might be drafting a corner. And here's the thing, man. With Clowney pushing for him to come in here, man, we might not even have to spend a draft pick on a corner if we get Gilmore. I would love to see that happen. I'm going to run some mock drafts and some experiments and stuff like that, off stream, where we don't sign Stephon Gilmore. I'm going to run some scenarios where we do sign him. That way we're prepared. But same with Gabe Jackson. Same with Gabe and Trey Turner. But I think if we seal up those last two spots, man, then it's just drafting depth at that point. That we could develop into potential starters within 2 to 3 years. So, or 1 to 2 years. There's no written rule that anybody that you draft has to immediately start. Even if they have starter potential. I want to stress that. For anybody that thinks that you have to immediately start these people, no, you don't. Generally speaking, yes, if you have a desperation spot of need, then yeah, you're probably going to want to start them. But if you don't have an immediate position of need, then you don't have to immediately start that player. Moose had to learn from someone. Steve Smith had to learn from someone before they ever became starters. You think they learned it on the fly? No. They learned it from somebody before they ever became starters. It takes time, y'all. It takes time to develop these guys. Some of them learn quicker than others. They're human beings. They learn different ways and at different speeds. So, it's not, it's not a concrete formula. You got to let some of these guys develop, man, and learn before you have to throw them in the fire. I mean, sometimes you can't do that because you have to have them out there, but those are the scenarios that you guys are thinking of that happen more times than not. Yeah, but what about the other positions? What about the times that they're not an immediate need out there? What if you've got a full set of players like KC has, and you don't have to put anybody in immediately? Okay, then what? You just don't draft that starter player? No, that's not how that works. That's not how New England got to where they got for several years consistently. No, they drafted these guys anyway, and they let them sit in their roster spots behind these guys for a year to learn. And then they became starters. That's how this stuff works. So I want people to understand this is how this stuff works. Before you start saying, oh, well, this player isn't starting. Why isn't he starting? Why isn't he starting? We drafted him in the first round. Doesn't matter. We could draft any Dick, Sue, Tom. Oh, come on, man. I don't want to hear that. What I want to hear is how we develop these players. Because developmental is key. Is key to the success of whether you got a good player or not. You could, okay. Say you got, okay, I'm trying to find a good analogy. Bear with me on this one. Maybe Ryan Tannehill. You could take any average quarterback, and if he's developed well enough with the right quarterback coach, he could become what he was with Tennessee. Same thing in any position. You could take any average Dick, Tom, Harry player that you want. With proper development, if they've got the potential in them to break that glass ceiling, hey, you got a potential superstar. But you got to let them develop. You can't just let them sit on the bench forever. But you also can't just draft somebody and then start them over a seasoned veteran, you know, that knows what they're doing, and expect the seasoned veteran to go, oh, okay, now I'm in a teaching role. That ain't how that works, y'all. That's how you ruin a roster. I've seen so many people try to push that narrative, and it doesn't work. There's so many backwards narratives out there, man. Like, to be honest, man, I've seen so many of them that I'm just surprised that anybody, literally anybody, can go out there and say, oh, my opinion is 100% fact. No, it's not. It's your opinion. Anybody can have an opinion. Anybody can get a mic and a camera and get on camera. Same thing, y'all. Same doggone thing. Everybody thinks that your opinions are right. No, not necessarily. I'm not saying my opinions are 100% fact. I never said that. Never once. I'm saying I think they're facts based on what I've seen and I've experienced and I know. And other people are saying the same thing. They think it's an absolute fact. This, that, and the third. You know? But do y'all have facts to back up what you're throwing out there, though? See, that's where we're different. I can come up with stats to back up everything I put out there. Well, almost everything. And if I don't provide those stats and information, and it's not a concrete fact, then I'll say, okay, this is my opinion. I will let you guys know this is my opinion. Straight up. Believe what you want to believe. That's fine. Even if you want to believe in your backwards form backwards theories on things, man. Go for it. You know, I'm still going to call it out. I'm still going to say stop. You know, like stop and think. You know what I mean? Because some of y'all like to have that massive ego and think you're right all the time. I've had people come into my chat thinking, okay, oh, this dude's got an ego, he's just right all the time. No. I never said I was. I never once said I was. I'm learning just like the rest of you. I'm a human being just like the rest of you. I make mistakes just like the rest of you. But people try to throw out that narrative and try to act like I know, like I'm one of those types. Nah, I'm not. I just want what's best for this doggone franchise, man. I want the best 53-man roster, period. Y'all got to stop with that homer stuff, man. That's not it. The reason I've been picking these South Carolina players and Clemson players is because they are quality players that fit a need on this roster. If I feel like a Notre Dame player is a better fit, then I'll go for the Notre Dame guy. If I feel like a Florida State guy is a better fit, then I'll go for a Florida State guy. I don't care. I don't care. I go after specific players that I think are the best fit for our system. Period. They can come from William and Mary for all I care. They could come from Honolulu, Hawaii for all I care. If we gotta, you know, come on, man. Y'all gotta stop with this homer stuff, man. Because I saw y'all put that in the chat the last couple of times I did these mocks. Y'all gotta stop. I have put my Clemson bias aside when I draft. I always put my Clemson bias aside. Okay? I put it on the shelf, man. And I say, okay, I want these types of players. Okay? A Clemson guy just happens to fit that bill. Like Jeremiah Trotter, for example. Okay, cool. Let's draft him. The fact that he's a Clemson player is a bonus to me. And same for Gamecocks fans, you know. If a certain player happens to fit the bill as a Gamecock fan, I'm not going to forget the fact that we've had success with Gamecocks players before. Or Notre Dame players. Or what have you, college players. We've had success with Georgia players. Whoever it might be. I'm taking the bias out of it. So, at the end of the day, I just want the best 53-man roster. Period. Point blank, period. That player could come from a high school for all I care. As long as you've got the skills and you've got the talents to put on the field and fit that need for us. Okay, we'll draft you. We'll put you in the mock and we'll draft you. I do have certain standards as far as what type of players I go after. And for what reasons I go after them. But it has nothing to do with bias. I can promise y'all that. I've had several people try that argument with me, and it falls flat every single time. You want to know why? Because I'm a Carolina Panthers fan before I'm a Clemson Tigers fan. Whoa. Shocker, right? Shocker, right? That just blew some of y'all's minds, didn't it? I'll try to tell you. Y'all think you know me, but you don't. Y'all think you know me. You think you got a beat on me, but you don't. I'm a wild horse, baby. I'm a wild stallion. Roar! I'm so out of the box and out of the barnyard, y'all can't even figure it out. I got so many out of the box opinions that y'all can't even put your hands together to figure them out. Sometimes, man. That's who I am. I gotta be that wild stallion sometimes, man. I gotta point out stuff that nobody else wants to listen to or deal with. So, there it is. And here's another one. Here's another one, y'all. Here's another one. How many good players have come out of Clemson in the past 5 years? I got a long list. And we ain't drafted even a single doggone one of them. Not a single one. And I want to remind y'all, every time that these guys get drafted and put into rookie contracts, as soon as they get out of that rookie contract, if they have even an ounce of talent whatsoever coming out of Clemson, their character is great whatsoever, they're going to generate high pay rates, pay contracts. They're going to be up to the moon. I mean, look at Deshaun Watson, look at DeAndre Hopkins, look at T. Higgins right now. T. Higgins is about to get paid soon. Y'all think I'm joking? No, I'm not. Look at Trevor Etienne. Trevor Etienne's about to be next. They're looking at Trevor Lawrence right now. You got to draft these guys. Put them into rookie contracts before the contracts go ape. You know what I'm saying? The Cowboys will win the conference, I think. Shout out to Louie, man. How you doing, man? Yeah, there's a strong chance. There's a strong chance, but how far are you guys going to go in the playoffs, though? Hopefully further than last time, if you're a Cowboys fan. But it's rough being a Cowboys fan right now, man. But at least y'all are making the playoffs. We're not. At least y'all are getting there. And I wish, dude. I wish we were. Shoot. We will be soon. But am I willing to sit on 2024 season to get there consistently every year? Year after year after year after year? Like the success that Clemson has had, you know? And in the NFL, you're looking at the type of success Kansas City has had. And probably the toughest division in the NFL, by the way. Currently. Definitely the most competitive for many years. If you're not competitive in that Western Division over there in the AFC South, AFC West, man, you are getting left behind very quickly. Just ask the Broncos. Every now and then, the Broncos will have a strong team, you know, enough to take them the distance. But shoot, you know, that's the type of consistency I want. That's the type of consistency I bet Dallas wishes they had too. And it ain't Dak. Dak ain't your problem. Dak is not your problem. I'm trying to tell you that right now. Dak is not your problem. I have watched that guy's numbers hit consistent numbers every single year. I've been trying to tell Falcons fans the same thing about Matt Ryan. They don't want to hear it. But okay. Y'all do what you do. See what the result is every year. Y'all sitting at home, sitting on the couch, drinking your Chardonnays. While the Kansas City Chiefs are winning the trophy again. Y'all, I've been trying to tell you this, man. But these teams don't want to hear it, though. I'm trying to help y'all, too. I shouldn't even be doing this, but I'm trying to help y'all, too. Because I care about y'all, man. I care about the fans that come up in here and present your teams, you know? Representing the Patriots or the Cowboys or the Bears, you know? I care about y'all, man. I don't have that much love for the Bears at the moment because of what they did, but, you know, with the trade. But hey, I get it, though. I get it why y'all are frustrated. Hey, we stole Greg Olsen from y'all, too. So, it's even. It's even, man. In a trade back then. Hey, you saw what Greg Olsen became. I don't even need to say anymore. So, as far as I'm concerned, we're even. We're even, Steven. And if Bears fans, before that DJ Moore trade happened, you know, to get Bryce, we're going to be like, oh, yeah. We wish you had stolen Greg Olsen from us. I sympathize. I sympathize with y'all. I'm with y'all on that. I'm like, we just got the absolute diamond in the rough tight end right there. That dude was a straight gold mine of a tight end. So do I feel bad for Bears fans, you know, dealing with that? Absolutely. But after that Bryce Young pick, once we got that trade done, we're even now. I don't feel sorry for y'all no more. With all due respect, I don't feel sorry for y'all no more. Because y'all got it back on us, man. Y'all evened it out. And watch what DJ Moore becomes for y'all. With a proper coaching staff and a proper quarterback that has protection. Watch what DJ Moore does up there. I guarantee you like those numbers now. Wait till you put all that stuff around them. Shoot, man. You know that man has more potential than you're showing right now. You know he does. 1,200 ain't nothing compared to what he could actually do. That dude could be the next Moose Muhammad for y'all. I ain't even lying. Steve Smith saw it. If Steve Smith saw it, everybody should see it. Because that dude points out stuff that people need to pay attention to. If he believes in Mingo, then let's see what Mingo can do. That was your pick, Steve. And that messed us up the entire draft. I hope he pans out, brother. I hope he does. Because we took a massive gamble when we got him. That was a reach, too. That was a massive reach. When we could have gotten a proper wide receiver in the third. But, hey, that's who you wanted. So I could be bullish here and say, then you better train him. If this is your pick, then you better train him. But I'm not going to. I'm not going to be bullish on that. Because we all know you won't. But, you give him some tips and tricks, of course. But training him up? Nah. I don't see that happening from the great Steve. But, hey. You could surprise me, though. You could surprise me. I'm going to do a little reverse Uno card there. Let's see if he falls for it, man. Let's see if he goes for it. But hey. That's the Clemson scrimmage, though, man. That was the no kidding. Malden's got a corner on here. Huh. Alright. You don't see many people coming from Malden. That's the odd thing. When you start looking at, like, rosters and stuff like that, most of these guys end up in South Carolina with the Gamecocks, but it's interesting to see where some of these guys come from. Greer, Daniel and High School and Gaffney are the big ones around here. And Burns is the biggest one. Burns is nationally known around the Southeast. Anybody that wants to take their kids to Burns is automatically going to relocate to Burns area. And, like, just so their kid can play there. I've heard stories about that, and, like, I don't know how I feel about that, you know, because to me, Burns is not the end-all, be-all of high schools that people should go to, you know what I mean, around here to get to the next level. I mean, I'm just saying. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me, y'all. That's how I feel about it. Anyway, I think Clemson's going to have a good schedule. They're going to have a good year. I think it's going to be 9 to 10 wins. Maybe even 11. I think 11 might be stretching it because of Gabe. But I think there is something there, man. Or Cade, I mean. Cade, not Gabe. I'm sorry. My mind's on the Panthers roster right now, too, so I'm having mixed reactions right now. But, yeah. I think Clemson will have that 9 to 10 win year. I'm seeing it right now. Even with Cade having his struggles. Because a lot of that schedule for Clemson is pretty simple. You know, we got Georgia, we got App State. We could beat App State, man. I'm wary of them, of course. But we're playing at home. We've got the home crowd advantage. And then you got NC State. Um, uh, Stanford. We haven't played Stanford before, have we? I don't think. I don't think we played Stanford. Not to my knowledge, anyway. Maybe a long time ago, if we did at all, and I just don't remember it. But that's where Christian McCaffrey was from. So, just FYI. Florida State, Wake Forest, Virginia, Louisville, Virginia Tech, Pittsburgh, Citadel. Citadel's an easy patch win there. And then you got South Carolina. And that game's going to be played in Death Valley, which will probably be a win for my Tigers. Although you never know. You never know. It depends on how we're playing throughout the year, though. It always varies. And that South Carolina game can always be in doubt. So you got to come out there and treat it like a normal game. You know, and that's always how it's been. South Carolina fans will tell you the same thing. You know, it's always been that way. We have had such close rivalry games. My goodness, we have had some great games. And I got full-on respect for the South Carolina fans. You know, just as much as they have respect for us. There was the fight on the field a handful of years ago, but I think the fans have moved past that now in the Carolinas. We'll see. But, I mean, I've had some people be disrespectful, but, I mean, it is what it is. I'm like, okay, whatever. You know, I stay classy as a Clemson fan. And, you know, there's some classy South Carolina fans out there, too, you know, that get tired of the riff-raff and garbage, too. But they also trash talk, too. So, I don't really do that as much. I just kind of let my team speak for itself on the field. So, it is what it is. You know. But yeah, that's about all I got for you guys. Hey, shout out to Louie. Appreciate you one more time, man, for coming up in here, man. All the likes, all the follows, all the subs. We hit 5,000 on Facebook. Group following. Appreciate that. Appreciate everybody that's in there. It's more so the people that are coming in than the number. We got quality people coming through, man. And I just want to say thank you to everybody. You are the reason that we are as successful as we are now. Otherwise, I wouldn't be spending my Sundays and weekdays doing this. You know? So thank you once again. From the bottom of my heart, man. To all the Clemson fans out there, all in. 110%. And that's a life motto right there. All y'all know it. Because of the Howard's Rock, man. Use that life motto. Do something with your life. Take that and use it. As far as us Panthers fans, man, you already know what it is. And again, I highly encourage any streamer that wishes to do a live reaction to their scrimmage of their favorite team. Go for it. I want to learn more about your team. I want to learn more about what your thoughts are about about your favorite team. Please do. What players do you like? What players do you think will become potential NFL starters one day? Who has potential to be possibly drafted by the Carolina Panthers at some point down the road? I want to hear it. I'm interested. I am all in. On learning new things about players. So please do. And I say all in, it's all inclusive. You know what I mean? From any college. If you got a favorite college, do a live stream reaction of it, man. Even if it's North Carolina Tar Heels, even if it's Pittsburgh, even if it's, I don't care. I'm interested in learning. Because any and all information that we collect, we can use, to create a better draft and create a better roster. At the end of the day, that's the main goal. That's always been the main goal. Always will be. So y'all let me know. Y'all go ahead, man. Y'all let me know. I want to hear your thoughts. Obviously, my favorite college is Clemson. That's why I'm doing this reaction. So, it was impromptu. I wasn't even planning on doing this. This was impromptu. So, but I felt like this was a good opportunity for you guys to hear straight from the horse's mouth, Dabo. How he coaches, what he does, what his philosophy is. Why he is who he is. What he does. Specifically that works. Stuff that we can learn as a franchise from. And sometimes that could be better than being there in person. Because I can still watch them on my phone. You know what I mean? But there's certain advantages of being in Death Valley too. You know what I mean? And I just generally love it, man. I love it. I love every part of the experience too. So, as I'm sure Georgia fans feel the same way about, watching games in their stadium, and Alabama fans feel the same way about watching their team in their stadium, during spring games. So, it is what it is, man. There's a certain college experience, But, good day for these guys, man. Good day. Good learning experience for all of these Clemson players and the coaching staff and everybody. I'm sure they're looking at film right now. So, or just relaxing, taking a nap, getting some rest, So, great day, man. Great day. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for y'all. With that being said, stay happy, healthy, and well. More mock draft streams on the way. Look for the next one to be what is it, Saturday? I might do one tomorrow. I might just move it into next week. That's probably what I'm going to do. But we're going to do some mocks. We're about to go stream heavy here in the next 2 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks. So, get yourselves ready. The grind begins now to prepare for the draft weekend. Stay happy, healthy, and well, y'all. And as always, pound.